The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Remember back in the day of yesteryear when premiums were found in McDonald's Happy Meals? Awesomely cheap-ass toys that placated the little bastards sitting in the backseat of mom and dad's car. Sure you do. Then Burger King did the same thing without having to buy the McD's equivalent of said Happy Meal. Burger King was cooler because the premiums were pretty badass. One in particular was Universal Monsters during the 1990s. Wolfman, Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and Frankenstein made every monster kid and adult thrilled to death. Well, NECA will be shipping out their own Universal Monsters called the Crypt Club. And these special figures will be the faithfully recreated figures of those special premiums BK gave out oh so many years ago. You can order the 4-pack of these 7-inch figures at NECAonline.com for $149.99 right now, and the shipping is appropriately done in October. And not only that, tonight is our 12th year anniversary show, so welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Welcome to episode 626 of Trick or Treat Radio. It is the 12-year anniversary. How in the fuck did we get here? That's what I want to know. Well, Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and might be one of the world's most oldest fucking podcasts, and recorded in front of an undead studio audience at Castle Wolfenstein, also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau, Casa de -0, and also broadcasting from Buddy Cianci's Rhode Island. Well, it's no longer his anymore, but from Arkham, we are joined by our good bud Arkham, Josh.
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Good, man. Good to have you along, Josh. I mean, we've been this appearance has been in the works for quite a long time, you know. So we appreciate you hanging on for weeks and weeks until this happened. And actually,
I just wait around for the call, you know, and then I leap into action.
we put up the.
I pictured Josh like in like a library, but instead of library, it's all records, kind of like Adam West with like an ascot.
That's literally
And
what
then,
what it's like.
What's that?
That's literally what it's like.
Yeah, and the
Well,
call
see,
comes in, the
actually,
Josh signal.
I don't have much lighting in here right now, but let's see if you can see. I'm in kind of a library, but it's all movies.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, that counts too.
Yep.
Yeah. All the records
And then,
are
like-
downstairs.
Get your Josh, you go on the Josh pole, you know, slide down. Get your ascot.
Very good. Very good.
Yes.
So yeah, it is. You know, I kid we actually just messaged Josh yesterday, and we're like, "Hey, Josh, have you seen this movie?" He's like, "Have I?" And then I ended up doing a little bit of research, and it turns out that Josh actually brought up this film on the podcast. What was it?
147 or something.
10 years ago? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we're looking at 10 years.
It was the digging.
Yeah,
Was-
the
Of
digging
the
up
marrow.
the marrow.
Digging up the
episode,
marrow.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah, Josh had
Wow.
brought it up back then, and reason being is because Josh, you actually did a screening of this back at the Black Box in Providence, right?
Yeah. When the Black Box was a small like kind of arts center location I was using for a little while, where I was doing mostly digital screenings, but since I couldn't do stuff on film really there, I was trying to find just the most obscure, craziest stuff that people just wouldn't come across on their own. And this is one of the things that I showed there like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because looking back, it's episode 136, and it was March 6th, 2015. So we did this episode
Yeah.
almost 10 years ago, and
Mhm.
Josh joined us for that one, and which is just crazy. Like, I wonder what your first appearance was.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to go
Oh.
back and find that out.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd probably be like maybe within the first year of the show, even.
Yeah, I think it
Wow.
was. Yeah, because we met you at Rock and Shock.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably was. I'll see if I can maybe find out during the actual show. But yeah, so on that one,
Yeah. And I know my first few appearances was in the old studio in your old apartment.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we moved there around like, I want to say like episode 60 to 70, somewhere in there, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, that checks out. But back on episode 136, Digging Up the Mallow, we talked about the film
Wow.
Digging Up the Marrow, and
Yeah.
and
The
we had Josh join us, and sure enough, one of the topics discussed, if you go back there, you can see that we discussed Intrepidos punks.
Mm.
And and then I looked back even further, and I saw, Josh, you did a screening of in here. It says the uncut 35 millimeter print of Frank Henenlotter classic Brain Damage. That's what you're promoting at the time of that episode.
Yes. Yep. Which I remember there was a minor issue where we got the print from Europe, and it was just the rated R American cut.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that couldn't have gone well.
No, I mean it didn't go too bad. We had at least a few days lead time to let people know, but it was a bummer because I was showing it up in Boston, and then it was going out to like Vancouver to a film festival,
Mhm.
and it was like me and the guy from the film festival that had kind of arranged for it to come over and do a couple shows and then go back. Like I said, only to find out when it arrived that no, this is just the regular R-rated version.
Now,
sucks.
Now that print has the extended uncoiling of the brain cut and also an extended blowjob cut, right?
Right. So most of the brain scene is still there in the R cut, but it's the blowjob scene that's mostly cut down.
yes.
Okay, yeah.
MZ hates
And I
that.
actually remember because at least a couple of you guys made it out to that screening,
Yeah.
and everybody was like, "Where's Monster Zero? This is like his favorite
I
movie."
know. I know.
Oh, dude,
Shit.
you know me so well.
Yeah, that was
Um,
that was funny because I think it was before. You know what? I think it was before we started doing.
There.
Oh, there you go. MZ's got his brain damage.
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
I think
Oh,
this
I
was
love this
before we started the podcast, Josh. But you did like an all-day Euro horror marathon at the Strand, I think.
Columbus.
Columbus. Okay, Columbus. That's right. And do you remember? Was that because we didn't know each other?
Yeah, I think that was definitely before we had met.
Yeah.
That was where I met Derek Rook.
Oh,
and
okay.
I know you went there with him, but yeah.
Okay. I
But
might
I
have.
remember he came up and introduced himself to me at that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what. Okay.
Yeah, and that was hold on. It was 6 movies, and it was The Horrible Dr. Hitchcock.
Yep.
Burial Ground.
Yep.
Nice.
Man from Deep River.
Yep.
Nice.
House by the Cemetery. The Beyond and City of the Living Dead.
Yep. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh damn! I would have loved to have seen that. I now remember. I now remember this.
He's like, I now remember not going.
Yeah, I remember not going to it either. But no, I do remember. I do remember the advertisements for this. I do remember seeing advertisements for this, and I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be a killer marathon of Italian cinema.
Yeah, and all on 35.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
That's right, because when I was still living in Rhode Island at the time, so for me it was like just a 20-minute jaunt down the road. So that's probably why I didn't bug MZ to come with me or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mike Baronis was there, and
that's right. I remember Mike.
Of course, he is.
He and I took turns introducing stuff. And he even had a couple things where he got people from the films on the phone to like introduce films.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
He had
Nice.
he had Johnny, I think.
Yeah, I think he did.
Your
Giovanni.
Giovanni, yeah.
Giovanni
Like I'm pretty
Lovato
sure he
Puccia,
had Giovanni, yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I hung out with him for a small amount of time over at Mike's place.
I know. We've talked about it many times.
Yeah.
Oh, Ricci.
The most handsomest fan.
Yeah.
He was a cool guy. He was fun to talk to.
Yeah.
He really was.
Yeah, and Johnny, I know you can sympathize with this. So on that day, I spent 13 hours doing changeover projection in a booth that had no operating fan or vent system.
Oh.
So
it probably
by
came
the
out
time
fucking
we got to the
sweating your
last 2
ass.
films, it was like 110 degrees in there.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. I could definitely see that. You know what? I've only worked in one theater that had the changeover, and I never actually used that projector. So for me, I've only used platter systems, but I've been in projection booths that utilize them, but I never did the changeover. So I don't know quite how hot it was to like work in one for a long period of time like that. But oh man, I just remember even being in I used to work at the embassy in Waltham. I don't know if you ever went there, Josh, but there was 6 theaters there, and they're like the way the projectors were set up, they're all relatively close to each other. Like there's like 2 in this wing, 2 in this, and 2 in another, and then there's like one main room that kind of connected all 3 hallways. So they're all pretty close together. And it would definitely get hot in there, but definitely not. Probably nothing like what you experienced on that day.
Well, yeah, because I mean, those lamp houses get hot, and if you don't have any ventilation or fans, it gets rough.
Yeah.
And with the changeover, it's not that makes it any hotter, but it's just I can't leave the booth for more than like a few minutes at a time.
Yeah, because at least every 15 to 25 minutes you have to change over the reels.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that was a good time. I remember that. I didn't see every film, but I know I saw at least 3, if not parts of a 4th, I think. So yeah, it was a good time though. I'd never seen Man from Deep River, so I did see that. I saw House by the Cemetery. I don't think I saw. Did you say City of the Living Dead was the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Beyond actually might have been the last one.
Okay, I think. You know what? Maybe I went somewhere to eat or something because I'm pretty sure I saw the Beyond, so I might have left and come back. Okay, that's probably what it was. But yeah, that was great.
Yeah, man. Oh, go ahead.
no.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, Man from Deep River was considered the very first cannibal film.
Yeah.
As far as Italian cannibal films go, directed by Umberto Lenzi. Ivan Rasimov, Mimi Lay.
Yep.
Yeah. Mimi Lay before her implant surgery.
And yeah, I do remember. I think that the Beyond was last because we were showing the Grindhouse releasing print of the Beyond. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I think I did catch that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good time right there.
Yeah. And Dave Zulkin from Grindhouse was there.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, because he lives out like towards the Cape, and he handles all the. At least back then, he was handling all the theatrical distribution, so all the prints were just at his house.
No kidding.
Yeah, so the morning of the thing, he just drove the print out to us, and he hung out there all day. And then at the end of the night, I just wrapped everything back up, and he took the print home with him.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea he lived on the East Coast.
Yeah.
No kidding, huh?
Yeah.
So let me catch up real quick on the chat. We got Ghetto Tim hanging out. What's up? What's up, Ghetto Tim? Good to see you, buddy. He says 12 years. Jesus, you guys are lazy. And he said, fucking right, Intrepidos punks should be seen at a drive-in near you.
Yeah.
And he said, this one's a definite Mexican. He says the Arkham. Evil Corny says, is the Arkham copter in the basement with the records? I miss hearing it on his calls.
Yeah, it's in the backyard.
How does that go, MZ? How's the Arkham copter going in?
Oh.
Fucking Michael Winslow over here.
Now, something else that I also wanted to bring up that MZ, your intro reminded me of is, do you remember when Burger King and stuff, they would make like sets of glasses? Like,
oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, like the Star Wars like glasses.
Yeah.
Batman Forever.
That the company TerraVision that does like the soundtracks and stuff. They're right now doing the Return of the Living Dead Part 2 soundtrack. And as one of the promo items they're making is they're making fast food style glasses for Return of the Living Dead Part 2.
Oh, nice.
Son of a bitch. That sounds awesome.
Son of a
So
bitch.
you keep an eye on their social media and stuff. You'll probably be able to order, like, I think it's a set of 2 glasses that they're doing.
And who is it that's doing
Burgers
this?
too?
TerraVision.
TerraVision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll write that down right now.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Keep an eye on that. That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds cool. Speaking of kind of throwback stuff, I haven't had a chance. Well, I wanted to watch the trailer on my TV, and I haven't had a chance to do it yet. But have any of you guys seen the trailer for Frankie Frico yet?
Ooh, no.
That's the new Steven Kostansky film.
Oh, no.
It's going to be playing at Fantasia, which is just in was it a couple weeks, I think? Or is it days? I've been getting emails
See,
for
I don't
it.
even want to. You had me at Steven Costanza.
Well,
I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm thinking, too. Like, I don't know. I'm curious. I do want to see it, but... Yeah. Ghetto Tim says Frankie Frico is playing Fantasia now. Okay, yeah. I knew it was starting soon. I couldn't remember when. Let's see, when is it? Yeah, okay, so July 18th through August 4th. So yeah, it's been going on for a week. And I think I saw that it was supposed to have its premiere today or tomorrow. So that'll be premiering soon. But yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait for that one. I can't wait till it gets distribution, because we're definitely be doing that on the show for sure. Good old Frankie Frico. You gonna say something, Raven Shadow? Oh, you're just holding up the horns?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something, man.
Franco Friday. What's it called? Freaky. What's it? What's the movie?
Freaky Friday Part 2.
Frankie.
Yeah. Is that what Costanza's doing?
Actually, that is being made. Actually, there is a Freaky Friday Part 2 being made.
Sure.
No, there is. I saw one of the.
I don't not believe you. I'm not like, no fucking way. How dare they ruin the franchise?
Oh, and Ghetto Tim, this is about 10 minutes ago. He said, so friends of mine hauled ass to Michigan this week for a signing with Hulk Hogan, promoting his Real American Beer. Long story short, he's withered beef jerky on legs now, and now more red than yellow. The Sheik would definitely have taken his beer and hooped it up Hogan's ass and humbled him.
What a brother. What a fucking brother. Hawk Tui. Original Hawk Tui.
Yeah, Hawk Hogan.
Hawk. Well, tell him Hawk Hogan. And
Hogan.
Get It Tim said, should have reached out to Frank. He would have done you a solid. Was that was that someone you mentioned, Josh? Frank?
I don't think so.
Oh, Frank Henenlotter.
Oh.
Probably when you did brain damage.
Oh, maybe.
That's probably what he meant.
I don't think he has a print of it either. I think that's why, the people I was working with were looking outside the country.
Yeah, gotcha.
Or outside the continent.
There wasn't any time to try to find one. You just had to go with what you got.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the one good thing about it was at my events, I like to do like a good chunk of like a trailer show where I do like a good 20 minutes of trailers. And I know like at first the Coolidge, they were like, oh, like you can't do that long. You can put like a few trailers in front of the movie and that's it. But once we found out it was like the cut shorter version, I'm like, I get to do the full 20 minutes of trailers, right? And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Wolfie, what was that movie we saw at the Coolidge where a bunch of us went out? I think Bobby Chains was with us the first time that he met you guys. What did we see? And then I got that call about continuity. The call about the kids at that time.
Oh, I don't remember because I've been there so many times to see films. I forget.
Oh, we had gotten Burger King. Is when the first time you met Bobby Chains. We went to see some kind of screening.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to remember like individual situations. I just remember seeing Della Morte on the big screen there. Dawn of the Dead.
I just thought you'd remember
Suspiria, Tenebrae. Cool. I think was it Tenebrae. Well, I forget. I saw Goblin or some variation of Simonetti and Goblin or whatever have done Suspiria, and they did one other movie. I can't remember which one it was.
None of that was the moment that we shared, but that's cool.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember.
Thanks. That's awesome.
Was it brain damage? It might have been brain damage.
I think it was brain damage.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I just know that I'm mad at Wolfie now.
You don't remember the movie.
It doesn't, but you're not as confused as I am, Wolfie.
Can you tell me anything you remember about the movie?
I remember we went to Burger King.
Oh, hello, Brian. How you doing? How are you, Brian? You don't remember that?
And
Zachary Lee.
Fun.
MZ, you do that Zachary Lee's voice pretty good in that. Can you?
I don't know if I do his voice that good. Hello, Brian. Wait, hold on.
Come on.
Hello, Brian. How are you? I can't do it.
That's pretty good. That's not bad.
I look, when I worked with Mike Baronis at Chiller, and I worked with it was 2009. I worked with him, and it was during the Italian invasion.
Yep.
And I'm working right next to Zachary.
Yeah, I remember you told me
all weekend long, and I'm sitting with Sylvia Colentina, and she's we're talking, we have a good time, and all I hear while we're talking, all I hear is Zachary laughing. And to hear him laughing all 3 days, just him laughing. I mean, what greater joy is there? Because his laugh is fantastic. It was great, and so just, nicest guy too. He's like, "Oh, come and take a picture with me." I'm thinking, okay, Hey, hello, Brian. How are you? How you doing? So, yeah, it was a good time with him, and just to hear that voice going on for 3 days straight, and he was like 93 or 94 at the time, and still plugging away, talking to fans, signing autographs, having a good old time.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. That's awesome. Here's wait, here, let me see if I might have found the scene. Let me play something from Brain Damage.
What a nice room, Brian. This is a real classy place.
We've got to talk. You've got to answer some questions.
Like what?
Like that old man? Was anything he said true?
Stupid old fool. Kept me weak by feeding me animal brains while they drained me like 2 shriveled parasites. They kept me weak, but I still left them. Is that what you want, Brian? Want me to leave you too?
No, I just...
Damn right you don't. So what are we doing here?
Look, I just want to sort things out. You've got me so I can't think clearly. I can't function clearly.
And I thought you were having such a good time.
I was. I am, but I think something awful happened last night, and I can't remember it. I don't remember where I went or who I met or what I did. All I remember is feeling something sticky in my pants and then finding them covered in blood. And not my blood.
Part of my talent, Brian, is to spare you any unpleasantness.
Yeah, but when it comes to blood in my underwear, I want to know how it got there.
Well, it's no big deal. Nothing to get upset about. Came from that girl at the club.
What girl?
The girl whose brains I ate.
What?
The blood came from a girl whose brains I sucked out.
You sucked out her brains?
Yeah, right through her mouth.
Is she dead?
Of course she's dead. What, are you kidding?
What are you telling me, that we killed someone last night?
You really don't remember any of it?
No, I don't!
How about the night watchman? Remember him?
The night watchman?
All right, well, I'm gonna play the whole thing. I was looking for the song.
Oh yeah, Elmer's tune.
Elmer's tune, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is this it?
Yeah.
I know that.
No, that's not it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Just an absolute joy to be around.
Because I remember seeing that for the first time over your old, the neighborhood house, Wolfie. And I think we were all watching like VHS tapes and just like seeing what was recorded. And I may have taken a nap on the couch and woke up seeing fucking Elmer for the first time. And we all popped.
Yeah.
It was like, what the fuck is this?
It's not the season. The reason is plain as the moon. It's just Elmer's tune. What makes a lady of 80 go out on the loose? Why does a gander meander in search of a goose? What puts the kick in a chicken, the magic in June? It's just Elmer's tune. Listen, listen. There's a lot you're liable to be missing. Sing it, so wing it, any old way and any old time. The hurdy-gurdies, the birdies, the crop on the beat, the candy maker, the baker, the man on the street, the city charmer, the farmer, the man in the moon. Well, sing Elmer's tune.
Oh, here it is.
Hi, hello, Brian. How are you? How you doing?
That's the best right there. Okay, that's where it was.
So imagine listening to that for 3 days straight, man. Oh my god.
Oh,
But I talked to him. I talked to Zachary about this role, and he said, yeah, he said he kind of regretted not allowing his name to be put on the poster, but I think he said it had to do with SAG and things like that. So he wanted to do it, but he couldn't. So there was a little bit of regret on his end. But he was happy to do it. So and as well as his little cameo in Frankenhooker.
What was his cameo on that?
Weatherman.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
So.
Ghetto Tim says, saw a double bill of Brain Damage in Holy Mountain.
Oh, jeez.
He said we had burned some shit before going in.
Wow, there's two polar opposites right there. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're both pretty mind expanding.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
In different ways, yeah.
Yeah, you got a point there.
Oh man.
Good point.
So what? Let's see. What else we got going on? We could just bullshit all night, but we do have a film we want to discuss. So that's Intrepidos Punks, and what I see some like. I was trying to figure out what year it was released, but I've seen some sort of mixed years. IMDb has 88. I've seen 87, and I think I saw somewhere. I think I saw 1980, but.
That makes more sense.
Most places say 88, but it can't be 88. Like, I'm guessing like 86 or 87.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
noticed,
would think.
like, when I put on the second one, on the title card for the second one is an 87 copyright.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That
The
makes
sequel?
sense.
Yeah,
Which is weird because it says that it was released in 1991.
right. But production date and release date, can differ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, the title card for the sequel has a 1987 copyright on it. So I'm guessing the first one was probably 86, maybe 87 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the sequel today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I could see a lot of, and I'm sure there are other films like this, but this is the one that comes to my mind. A lot of Devil's Rejects comes out of that one.
I can see what you. Yeah, there's some in there.
It's basically a cop who takes revenge on a group of people who murdered his family.
Yeah.
And that's basically the Devil's Rejects right there. But the thing is that the cop who's taking revenge is far more sadistic than the gang members who killed his family.
Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2?
Yes, that too. Yes. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Devil's Rejects. Yes, they're all the same.
Yeah. Because that's what I always thought when I saw Devil's Rejects. I was like, oh, it's like a slightly more serious take on Chainsaw 2.
Yeah. I never thought about it that way, probably because of the stretch angle, but
yeah.
Because that kind of usurped the time, and
yeah.
while the lefty and right thing is, the story with him is far more important.
Yeah.
Most of the story landed in Stretch's lap, so
right.
but now that you mention, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Well, we got the film discussion in a bit. What I thought is maybe we'll and I think it's good that Josh is here for this, because I think Josh was part of some of these things that might come up. But it is the 12-year anniversary, and we figured we'd kind of theme it around the number 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. As you heard in the intro.
Makes me want to play pinball.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? This is a good question. Josh, are you familiar with a band called Random Killing?
Nope.
Okay. I think they're a Canadian punk band. That's why I wasn't sure if you know a lot of obscure music, especially when it comes to like punk. Yeah, so I guess they're still active, actually. Yeah, Random Killing, established in 1984. And they're punk rock from Toronto. But anyways, that's the song I played at the beginning. It's the Sesame Street song. MZ had recommended doing that, and I thought that was a good idea. But I actually found a punk version of it, and I thought that might be more appropriate for doing Intrepidos Punks. So so that song in the beginning was from the band Random Killing. Oh, Ghetto Tim knows him, of course. He is from Toronto.
Oh shit!
And he says, Toronto, yes. He's like, I know the arcade guys, patios and beer. Yeah, so he knows the Random Killing guys. That's cool. That's awesome, Tim. So I just thought it'd be fun to play a punked up version of that song. So, but it's appropriate for Intrepidos punks. And I couldn't find a good copy of it. I found like it was from like it had like a lot of tape hiss to it, so I tried to remove some of the hiss, but it didn't sound as punchy afterward. But because I don't think they ever officially released that. I think it was just something they did live or something. So, but yeah, I just wanted to mention if anyone was curious where that came from. I found it on YouTube, so if you guys want to, you can go look for it there. Okay, cool. So there's that. Now, yeah, we're talking about doing a list inspired by the number 12. And so we're going to just kind of throw out, I'd say kind of in no order. I mean, it would be difficult to number these, and, you know, and they're all good memories. So these are going to be 12 of our favorite memories / moments that coincide with the show. So it doesn't have to be a moment on the show. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. It's just something that's associated with doing the show. So whether it's hanging out with someone in real life that we met through the show, or whether it was, you know, anything like that, you know, that's sort of the deal. So we'll kind of go through and talk about this, and we'll come up with a list of 12. Everyone wrote down, like, I don't know, between like 4 and I think MZ had like 11. So we'll eventually get to 12, but we'll throw out the most important ones. Okay. We'll throw out the most important ones. And then if you guys have, I'm sure we're doubled and tripled up on some of them. So we should be able to come out with a list of 12 at the end here. But yeah, I would wager a guess that Josh was involved and or present for at least a quarter of them, I'm going to guess, depending on where we go with this. So,
what was the episode that he was in the studio with us? Was it 130? What?
The one I mentioned earlier?
Yeah.
I don't know if he was. Yeah, because Josh had to have been in the studio.
I would have been in the studio.
Yeah, because you only did Skype like in the last few years.
Yeah.
If that's on my list now.
Okay. Trick or Treat Radio 136. Okay. All right. So
my favorite moment is that time I showed Monster Zero's favorite movie in Boston, and he didn't show up.
That was awesome. My favorite moment was when Josh brought Chinese food over to the house like a gentleman, and we ate that before we recorded live.
Yeah. Well, one of the many times Raven Shadow and I had pizza or subs before we. Yeah.
Wasn't that fun?
Yeah. Although, hey, next time I go up there, I want to try that pastrami pizza you're talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. That's how we does, dude. We're doing the pastrami black olive, dude.
Yeah.
That's when you don't give a fuck that night, Josh.
Yeah. High blood pressure be damned.
You were like, this is just for me because I need this. Like in your bathrobe. That's fine.
Let's see. Ghetto Tim. He posted a link to patios and beer. Maybe I'll play a little bit of that from Random Killing in a bit. He says, I don't have 12, but I only care about the original Dirty 4. And raising my tin to my brother Mars as well. You're included as well, Josh. So
Yay.
Thank you, Ghetto Tim. Ghetto Tim's been around since the fucking like long ago.
Such
too.
a brother.
When he was in South Korea. He was Tim from Korea, yeah. And
I remember our first conversation with him. I was down by the bar. I think I was on the flip phone days.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we had I think you're right. Yeah. And
it was you and I, Wolfie.
Okay.
Tim.
And he brought us the infamous film Taxidermia.
Jesus. That sucked, man. What the fuck, bro?
Oh shit.
That was a good fucking move, dog.
Live from NDA says, you sexy bastards, how are you?
Oh, goddamn, pal.
All right, well let's start going through some stuff. So Raven Shadow, go ahead. Feel free to, what's your criteria? What did you use as your criteria? And then just throw out one of your picks. Doesn't have to be your top pick, just a pick.
I mean, it has been 12 years and a lot of beers. Look at the mess I'm in, to paraphrase Mike Ness. But like, I think we've had similar discussions over the years of what I loved about, doing the show with all of you. And I'm not saying I'm not going to keep going and speaking on that, but these are shit that I love. I'm so happy for.
Mhm.
So, and I agree with Wolfie in no particular order. Number one was we get a chance to be in some movies. Like, I know, like, MZ is an old hat at this. He's been suffering for his art for years. Ask him, he'll tell you. But I really enjoyed being part of the great Jared Blinkhorn set, Signal to Noise, and all of us working on Septic with the great Brian Pollan, and what we had to do to make the gunshots not seem like gunshots
That was
when there
fucking
was a big party
hilarious.
next door. And I'm happy to not have got Nikki and wear nice clothes. So, and look cool. So, yeah, we get to be in fucking movies, dude. That's fucking dope. And Wolfie and I were Snuff Organizer 1 and 2. That makes me smile.
Are you gonna put that on your resume, Raven Shadow?
Yeah, it's on my LinkedIn.
Snuff organizer number 1.
I think I was number 2, though.
You'll always be number 2.
Yeah,
in
you'll
my
always
book, Ray.
you'll always be a number 2.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
You might have been above me in the credits, I think, because I got to talk to Brian about.
so let's talk about that real quick. Actually, I think I'm trying to remember. Did we meet Blink?
I don't know.
Did Josh introduce?
By Rock and Shock.
Yeah, Josh, did you introduce us to Jared?
I may have introduced you guys. At the very least, it was probably through Rock and Shock, because I showed some of his shorts.
Okay.
At Rock and Shock.
You know what? I think yeah. Okay. I think I remembered because I went to Boston Underground Film Fest a couple times, and I knew his name because I had heard it, like it might have been from you, and so I don't think I had met him, but I had heard Jared Blinkhorn, because that's right, he had that his short film was it They're Coming for You, or They're Closing In, that's it.
Closing in, yeah.
And I think you might have passed out some stuff for it, Josh, if I'm not mistaken.
We had that at the booth. I still have that little gimmick.
He had a short film even before that.
Okay.
That we had showed at Rock and Shock.
Okay.
Like, yeah. And I'm pretty sure he came the day that his film showed. So, like I'm saying, I don't know if I necessarily did the introduction or if you guys just also happen to meet him there, but I'm willing to bet it goes back to that.
Yeah, so I think that's where I found out about him, because I remember seeing that flyer for They're Closing In, and then I went to Buff, which would have been, I think, maybe around that time. I forget when Buff is, but anyways, and I saw him talking outside to somebody, and I'm like, I think that's that dude Jared Blinkhorn, and like, so I didn't end up going to talk to him because he had like a bunch of people around him, and I think I messaged him afterwards or something like that, and was like, hey man, I saw you, saw your film, or saw you or something. Yeah, and then we just, after that, we kind of like hit it off somewhere else, like went to, whether it was Rock and Shock or something else like that. But yeah, I think we were aware of him from you doing the Rock and Shock Film Fest, and then kind of went from there. So yeah. But yeah, I miss the fuck out of Jarrett. It's been a while. I know, obviously, he's a busy dude with his business, and then also with a kid and everything. But that was a blast doing that. Absolute blast.
Well,
the three of us were in it.
Yeah, we talked about it on air, but just the drive up was so much fun. Getting Taco Bell, the spread. The amazing craft services.
You'll on your fucking deathbed, you're going to be like, Jared Blinkhorn and his spread. He had Domino's Pizza, Dunkin' Donuts, coffee.
But the best part was having Raven Shadow waiting indoors while all of us are freezing our butts off outside.
Yeah, yep.
No,
I was prepared to film.
I talked about this story at a party I was at this past Friday. I was a gentleman. Papa Blinkhorn asked me to come in, like a gentleman.
No, he
And
didn't ask
felt
you to
that-
come in. You were in there and you were talking to him already.
No, and this is the second time it happened to at least you and I, Wolfie. We were outside, and I was drinking a bottle of water, and Papa Blinkhorn got pissed because it wasn't fucking alcohol. He's like, "Your podcast is fake. Come inside." And I'm like, "It's 10 in the morning, Papa Blinkhorn." Like fucking, or it might have been noontime. And then he told us that great story about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I remember the story.
Everybody's got a boss, and they love the jackets. And you guys happen to go outside and drink shitty black fucking makeup to fuck up your teeth. And Papa
It wasn't-
Blinkhorn felt the need
It
to keep me
wasn't.
inside.
It wasn't shitty black makeup. It was activated charcoal.
It scared me.
You probably
It was
have it in
part
your.
of the experience.
Yeah, you probably have it in your fucking toothpaste or something, and you were
Probably had
afraid.
my goddamn cigarettes.
Yeah. Oh
no.
no. He's
No,
got
I'm looking at
worse.
the fucking label.
R-
Would make the cigarettes
MZ.
healthier.
MZ, he has way worse things than cigarettes, but no, God forbid he put some fucking activated charcoal in his fucking mouth.
Yeah, right. No shit. Go figure.
I just got scared, but I was gonna do it. But
But
I was gonna suffer for my art for Jared Blinkhorn.
no, you
It
weren't.
was so nice.
suffered for your eye. No, you weren't.
I was gonna. I was scared. I ain't gonna front. I was scared. But I was
Scared
gonna
to
do
put
What?
activated charcoal in his mouth. Like
Activated charcoal.
was
You're
black
scared. What did
liquid.
you think it was gonna? What did you think was gonna happen?
I don't know. I just don't. I don't even eat the fucking Shamrock shakes and fucking McDonald's. I don't like green shit. You know what I mean?
No, but you'll have a cookie oh puss if one came across your desk now, wouldn't it?
I'm always down for a
Fudgy the Whale.
Goddamn fucking liar.
no. But the moral of the story is, I was on the precipice of suffering for my art, and that's when Jared Blinkwood said that you're Raven Shadow, you're too thick, and I was like, respect.
No, yeah,
And then
because
he
we were
said-
all bitching about.
Yeah, right.
We were bitching about you, and he's like, "Well, fine. He doesn't need to put anything on. We'll put him in the back."
They said we'll hide him in the back so that nobody will believe
Yeah.
he's in this movie.
Yeah.
I was talking to his dad.
MZ went into business for himself, and he got a featured role.
Yeah,
Every,
that's how
every
you
shot.
do it.
Yeah. Excuse me, but I didn't go into business for myself. What was I supposed to do? Dodge around her?
He could have.
I couldn't dodge around Diane. It was Diana Porter,
Yeah.
and I couldn't just dodge. And I don't know.
He
you
lives
guys,
at.
you-
Okay.
I don't know
He's
if. Well, I was just gonna say I don't know if Josh knows Diana Porter.
He knows her.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we did a take, and I was walking straight ahead like I was supposed to, in a trance like I was supposed to, but where she was directly in my path. And what was I supposed to do? So that, be like, turn, kind of make myself an angle just so I dodge her? No, I bumped into her. And in reality, that's what would happen, and it blinks like that. And we went with it and did another take, and he liked it.
And you know what? I will say that you were definitely doing that as usual De Niro gimmick going on. But Wolfie, who I feel was being rude earlier, I also too, if we're all getting the signal to the noise, right, and we leave our house, I was the only one who just wore his thermal. I didn't have my fucking jackets on. I kept
So?
it real.
We were outside when
So
we
you
got
were
hit.
the only one who was just in the house.
Yeah, we were outside when we got hit.
Oh,
We
yeah,
were all
you guys were all
outside.
Yeah.
outside
Inside the
when noise
house.
happened.
No, you were too big. No, we're all freezing our asses off, and you're inside playing Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah.
That's true. I was actually really hot inside, Josh, talking, and all the whiskey that Papa Blinks was giving me, because I was a good boy.
But all
All right,
things
well.
considered, it was a nice spread.
It was, yeah. All right, well, enough. We've already talked about this before. People have maybe heard it, but there was that. Yeah, the septic with Brian Paulin was a blast doing that. And you're right, like having to mask the sound of the gunshots in the garage was hilarious because he didn't want his neighbors to think he was shooting guns. So like every once in a while, he'd be like, "All right, get the hammer and go hammer the garage door." To
You know
pretend
what?
like
It was funny. I was actually telling this story to somebody the other day, and they were like, "Why didn't you just tell the neighbors you were filming a movie?" And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, do you
Like, we
think
got that
Brian
late.
wants to talk to his neighbors?
No, true. You know,
Yeah,
they were like,
yeah.
they were definitely,
Right.
yeah,
Supporters
All
of someone else, I think.
yeah. It was a very red, ish hue in the yard.
Yeah. So that was funny though. But no, that was both those experiences were great. So I think the films that we've been in, not that like, you know, we necessarily made them any better, but those experiences were a lot of fun for sure.
Okay, and we all got in them. We all had scenes. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it helped that MZ fucking led the charge, but
Well, MZ's he's an old hat. I mean, you know.
it's true. He's old. No, fair. And also, MZ has way more history in films than we do.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, like obviously, but yeah, no, it was a moment that I love being with you guys with, and that really makes me happy still to this day. So fuck you, I love you.
All right. So being in films, MZ, how about you? Do you have any specific criteria that's different that you want to call out?
Not really. Just that this is something, you know, these are choices I made that encompass the entire show, not one in particular host, with the exception of one thing. And you may already know what that is. But I'm going to go with, well, I mean, you have to start somewhere, and I would say the very first show. That it's you know, without the first show, we wouldn't be here, you know? So
True.
It all starts from somewhere, and it all started on this show 12 years ago. And it's been a hell of a journey. And and all these various incarnations,
Yeah.
you know, through me being on the phone to me leaving like you know, just doing a review on the phone and you guys doing the rest, to us going to Wolfie's apartment to film and to record the program, and then we go over to our own rented studio, and that place has since been demolished.
Yeah.
And then
It's crazy.
then we all go to Raven Shadow's place, and then because of COVID, we all ended up going our separate ways and doing it the way we have going on right now. And since then, it's been pretty successful. So, you know, we've gone through a lot of trials and tribulations, you know, to try and get every show going every week. But the first show is where it always begins. And, you know, it's like I said, after 12 years, it's got to start somewhere. And it starts on the very first show that we did.
Yeah. Episode 0 released July 31st, 2012. So in 6 days, it will be 12 years. We always do the last Thursday in July, because since the show, you know, we ended up recording it a few days prior and then putting it out on a Friday. So it's always like the last episode that falls in July is the anniversary.
Because that's when you were editing too.
Yeah.
You were doing it
Oh,
on
yeah.
Wednesdays.
I
when
was
worked
editing
at the
like a
shop.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was editing sometimes for 8 to 12 hours. It was fucking dumb. So let me play the beginning. Do you guys mind if I play just the beginning of episode 0?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't even know what it is.
God.
I haven't listened to it in literally years. So let me just play the very beginning.
Oh, boy.
My name is Dynamo Mike.
I'm going to skip the intro. I want to
Sarah
hear.
Palin.
Okay, there's a music.
Dynamo, so what's been going on lately? Welcome, everyone. This is Trick or Treat Radio. I'm one of your co-hosts, Johnny Wolfenstein, and I'm joined here by my...
Johnny Wolfenstein. Hey, guys. This is Johnny Wolfenstein. I'm doing some Trick or Treat Radio over here. What's up? I'm going to skip around because I want to hear the different segments of you guys.
Like that. It really wasn't
Sarah's very last match on the Indies. I'm not...
the best to the atmosphere.
My favorite, but you know, torture porn. It just seems that
There you go.
big fans of horror movies, but I think a little...
Are you sure?
What? Wait.
Halloween, not Halloween.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking
Rob
about
Zombie's Halloween Dose. No, he doesn't.
Okay.
he doesn't like that because
States that he hates it.
yeah, why should he watch something he knows he's not going to like?
That's Monster Zero for you, folks.
What the fuck?
What the fuck, exactly. So let's get Monster Zero here on the horn, and we'll talk some horror movies with him.
Hey.
Now, what I'd like to discuss with you guys today is the current state of horror.
You can hear the quality got worse too because during the Skype or the phone portion, like it just the quality just went down. So there's MZ.
Oh, I thought you meant 12 years.
Well, that yeah.
Raven Shadow.
I'm
Suicide rings and the
Raven Shadow.
matter with the okay now.
It should be the
It seems sort of grandiose, but it.
Subgenres, great job.
Wait, what's your first? It's probably Dynamo.
Dynamo's fresh. Is that the word?
I think August last year.
A documentary, more new as Jude.
I don't know, his sweatpants or something.
Yeah, it was Bad News Bears. He's gonna hit me with Red Bear. Raven Shadow.
That's right. We don't pay him, but he still does a continually great job. So
We ought not tell him that.
no, although I think he's been sort of sniffing around asking about that. So we probably will. Are you dropping pennies again? What the hell are you?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's something that we've been wanting to discuss. Well, I'm
Sure.
sure we'll get into other stuff. I know you're a big fan of Marvel and a lot of independent books as well.
This could have been
matters, but I guess
fresh in everybody's mind, still canon. So, I want to just talk about some of these books, go through them, what worked, what didn't work. How are we doing tonight, Michael?
pretty good, Dynamo. Happy to be here. There probably could be some more important matters, but I guess talking about funny books.
Yeah.
So that's. I'll just do the quick intros for everyone. I'm not going to go through and play. If people want to listen to that episode, they can go back and listen to it. But we used to do call-ins, and MZ would do a film segment, and then Raven Chow would do comics, and then at some point we merged, and everyone was all there. But MZ just talking about we've had different variations of the host, and initially it was Mars and I, and then you guys ended up joining in, and then Tiny was here for a while. He wouldn't be there for every episode, but he'd be here for a lot of them. And then Aries joined in. Tiny left, and Aries joined in, and then Aries left for a little while, and then he came back. Dynamo left. The constant though has been you and me, Raven Shadow. Crazy enough, MZ, he had his 1 year sabbatical. But
yeah, I mean, in terms of being consistently on the roster, a few episodes. I mean, you are the only Wolfie. You are the only one that's been here for every single one because that's, to be fair, we need you. But yeah, we were all on episode 0, man, and I remember I think I'd gone on vacation episode 1. And then I remember calling you on break from the shop and be like, "Are we doing this again?" Okay, and it kept going, and it we even going long from the jump. We'll call you at 9:00, 9:30.
Yeah,
quarter of 5. Not quarter of 5, but what I mean.
So I mean, we could talk more and more about it, but I mean that's pretty much the gist of it.
But sorry, one last thing. It's if you read any super team or show, you have the incarnations, but it's still always been the original group, and the guest stars have been awesome, and people have come along the way and become brothers and regulars and stuff. So I think it's evolution. If you look at X-Men #1 or the Claremont run, you're going to see an evolution of stuff, whether it be hair, beards, fucking significant others. What are you going to do? It's been a fucking ride.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So for me, let's see. It's tough because, I mean, there's so many big things. You know what? Okay, I'll go with this one because I have a feeling you guys will one of you two will bring up this other one. But I'm gonna say our friendship with Bill and Chris and Outside the Cinema.
Yes, and I would add on to that, but keep going.
Okay. And reason being is because our relationship with, especially with Bill, I love Dr. Chris, but I didn't talk to him as much as Bill. Bill and I would shoot the shit about like whatever, wrestling or like movies, music, or just even like podcasting shit, production stuff. But anyways, our show changed because of those guys. And, Bill had told me, I just talked about episode 0 and all the editing, and I used to edit between 8 and 12 hours every week. And that is just dumb. I would be up till like fucking 5 and 6 in the morning trying to edit the episode to put it out. It's just fucking dumb. And so when I told Bill, he's like, what are you editing for? Don't fucking do that. Dude, what are you doing? He's like, go live. And I was like, oh, really? Okay, let me think about that. And it just kind of planted the seed. And then from there, I mean, that's where the live show comes from. Like maybe we would have eventually gotten there, but we got there a lot quicker because of them. And they had a very successful live show back in the day. They invited us on. We had them on. We did the fucking, maybe the thing I was just about to mention will be another thing. Wednesday Night Wars. I think that could be its own thing. But just
it could be, but I think it's a natural progression, though.
It could be, yeah. But our friendship with Bill by Force, Dr. Chris, and Outside the Cinema, it really affected the show, and love those guys. And I don't, unfortunately, don't talk to Bill by Force all that much anymore, mostly because everyone's got their own shit going on. Dude's a filmmaker, and I also don't really reach out to anybody these days. I got my own shit going on, but I do love, whenever I do get a chance to talk to him or see him on the lucky chance that I get to see him, like, it's just like, like nothing had changed. It's fucking down boys for life, right? Did you want to add something now?
If anything, I would say, there was so much rub from OTC, from El Goro, from all those early crossovers.
Yep.
So many folks that we met, and there are too many names to even mention because you're gonna forget somebody. But just, it was so great, and I still listen to OTC weekly. And big ups to Bill, fucking kick that shit's ass. And love Mr. Chris too. We're both Robotech fans. That's dope.
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
And I know they had a big influence on you guys because Bill was like, "Why are you editing? Stop editing."
Yeah, right. That's it. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah, that and the going live, and yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, and if we're doing crossovers, we can, the early days. We could be here all night talking about the different crossovers. So yeah. I'll just talk about the early days. That's Outside the Cinema. That's El Goro, Talk Without Rhythm, Cult of Muscle. Fucking Death Rattle Aaron back in the day.
Oh my god! Oh
yeah.
And I think those were the main ones early on. But
Mill Creeps represent.
Yeah, Mill Creeps. I remember you did that fucking ad for the Mill Creeps. That shit was funny. I'll see if I can find that.
The Mill Creeps.
Yeah. So yeah, the crossovers were huge, and we've done a lot over the years, and we literally can't name them all, but those are the ones early on that really helped us. And yeah, by the way, Josh, I mean obviously I know you've been on a lot of episodes, but if you have something that you want to bring up, please, I want to give you an opportunity.
All right, I'll throw one in here.
Okay.
And it's something I had nothing to do with.
Thank you.
Well, I figure that's only fair, right? But I'm going to say a great moment is the first time Corando was on the show.
Oh.
And you guys realized you had a new friend.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Such a brother.
That's a great one. And yeah, that was definitely probably on all of our lists. And we can talk about, we can expand that to the friendships, but with that one specifically, I think it's worth mentioning Corando, individually, because we reviewed the film Gunwoman, his film Gunwoman, and he listened to it and he tweeted at us, I think it was, and from there, he's like, "Oh, I heard the show, I loved it. You guys, thank you so much for covering my movie." And from there, it was like, "Oh, we should get him on." And then talked, had him on. Like, we realized, like, this dude's fucking awesome. Like, and yeah, just kind of like fast friendship from there. And I would say it culminated. And actually, the thing that I wrote down was hosting Corando at Rock and Shock. Like, we sort of put a word in because he wanted to come, but then he did all the footwork after that. I think of talking to Mike over at Rock and Shock and getting that all squared away. But we tried to put in a good word and see that we could make it happen. And I think Corando ended up making it happen. But yeah, like we essentially hosted him, like coming here and planned a whole get together and hang out, and it was fucking great.
Yeah. How awesome was that walk from DCU Center to the Lucky Dog with Corando? And
what music plays in your head when you relive that?
Fucking awesome music. Teal. Fucking.
Oh, was
fucking
it
ain't right?
Was it the music from The Visitor?
The epic music.
Yeah.
Epic music to ride
to
escalators.
mundane things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that shit.
I did my part in that visit too, because I know once he reached out to them, I also reached out and was like,
that's right. Yeah.
Hey, I know this guy's reached out about coming. We've already like arranged to show his film, so like.
Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was great. And the whole thing, like just being friends with him, and even like, I know Corando's in the act of moving, I believe, still, but he'd even reached out to us and gave us kind of a life update and was like, "Hey guys, this is what's going on. When things are all settled, I'd love to come back on." So.
Such a brother.
Exactly. You guys have had a lot of guests, done a lot of interviews, and some of them have, stayed in touch. You're definitely friends with other people that were former guests, but I feel like that's the one that became like a fast friendship.
Yeah, definitely
was formed that day.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And even to the point where we get special thanks in his films now. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. I saw that coming.
Yeah.
Dope is that, dude? Like, and like, you just like, literally, I could text him like, "Hey, what are you wearing?" And like, we would get a response. Like, "Oh, what you eating?" Like fucking such a brother. I love drinking fucking Guinness with him. And that would, if anything, this kind of plays into the friends we met along the way. Like, if you had told me 12 years ago I would be friends with people I met on the internet, and because of this show, there's people I talk to every day. So like, let's piggyback. I think we can probably all agree on this. The people, that era when everyone came out, whether it's from OTC, Joshua Libre, fucking, you know what I mean, from Slagoth to Korn. And there's too many fucking names. Tim from Australia, like, there are too many fucking names to fucking even mention. But like that,
yeah,
Reverend Scott, the epic fucking
Joshua Libre was there,
yeah, Libre. Like, that was so special. Just meeting everybody and meeting face to face.
The friends we made along the way, as you said, Raven Shadow. Jim Smith, right. Teal. We met.
Teal.
We did meet Jim Smith. It might have just been prior to doing the podcast.
Year before. No, we were doing the podcast.
Oh, that's right. It was when the Deadites EP came out, because we were looking for it to see if it had uploaded yet, because we had to wait like a few days for it to upload on iTunes. So we're waiting, and I kept checking, looking for the Deadites, and I kept seeing this thing come up, and it was like a song called the Deadites from Teal, and I'm like, who the fuck is this Teal dude? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where is our album? Why is this guy coming up? And then like I fucking listened to it, I was like, holy shit, this is pretty fucking good. And I showed it to like the other guys, and and then we found out he lived in Jersey, and then we're like, holy shit, well, we're playing a show. let's reach out and just see if he wants to come up. Sure enough, came up. Fucking greatest dude. Nicest fucking dude ever, right? Like,
so sweet.
You know, Jim Smith is he's the fucking best man. And now he's out.
And then
pretty well for himself out in LA
yeah.
now. So.
Yeah, he's San Diego, unless he moved to LA.
Oh, San Diego, yeah.
So he's out there in San Diego. He's doing really good for himself and enjoying the weather and life. But all
looking fucking awesome.
All good dudes. I mean, we could literally go on and on about the different friends, but those are a few of the big ones, and everyone we've met along the way. Even listeners, not even just creators. We could keep going on. I don't want to miss any names, but. Like Joshua Libre, Evil Fucking Corny, Slaygoth, Tim Chuma coming out from fucking Australia, like to hang out. What the fuck, right?
Yo.
So crazy.
All these fucking nuts, we met, and like if we haven't mentioned you, we love you. Like there's so many.
Yeah.
That's the best part is the fucking true friendships.
Yep. Yeah.
Dope, dude.
Definitely. All right. Thanks for that one, Josh. That was a good one.
No problem.
Raven Chow, you kicked us off. Let's try to go a little quicker. So Raven Chow, why don't you?
I know. Maybe I get some high spots. The first live show we did.
The fuck at the Luna.
Blinkhorn.
Josh was there, right?
The theater. Yeah.
Josh, yeah.
Josh was there, I think.
Mm.
So
with the Luna Theater live one, right?
Yeah.
I drove Blinkhorn there.
That's right.
I know
That's right.
Blinkhorn drove me there.
Oh yeah.
Because I think I had sprained my ankle or something that week.
Oh
yes.
Yeah.
And the weather was fucking shitty. It was like January, like a Monday in January, and the weather was fucking terrible. But we still had a decent turnout, like for
heavy sleet.
All things considered.
It was just ugly.
It was literally like Hoth.
I know
we would have had to go on tauntauns.
So some people that showed up. Once again, I don't want to miss anyone, but Josh, Jarrett, and then we also had Patsy and Ashes were there. I know that we had.
Ashes,
I'm pretty sure
Pantaphobe.
Sir Isaac Pantaphobe,
yep.
and also Izzy Lee.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Was there and her husband Steve, awesome people. Like that was fucking cool and badass to see them there. I think they were there for Jarrett initially, because we played Jarrett's shorts, but they awesome having them there. Yeah. So
and if we missed you, we're sorry, but there was so many awesome people. Thank you so much.
That show was so much fun. Like it was stressful as fuck, but like I remember just. I really enjoy doing that and setting that up and everything. So we can just add, I think, all the live shows to that because there is that one.
Yeah.
We did the live show in Worcester with El Goro. Goro was in town at that.
And then showed Survival of the Film Freaks.
Survival of the Film Freaks. Yep.
Josh was there too.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I'm saying like Josh. I knew he'd be at like he was involved in several of these. So.
I was there for too many things.
Yeah.
Too many.
So yeah, we did the Survival of the Film Freaks
the final
screening.
Rock and Shock where we opened up for Bruce Campbell, the way we tell the story.
Well, we kind of did, right? Didn't he? He was after us, right?
He was after us.
Yeah. So I would almost say Rock and Shock might be a different one for me, even though those included live shows. But like so we did, and then we also did we actually did a live show at Scarecon.
In Worcester.
Oh yeah.
In Worcester, underneath,
Well, wait, what are you talking about, MC? In Worcester, which one?
The live show in Worcester.
Yeah, I already mentioned that. The one with El Goro, right?
Yeah.
It was like in an old bank or something like that.
Under a bank.
That was the Survival of the Film Freaks one we just mentioned.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
There was that. Go ahead, Raven Shadow.
One of the Lucky Dog. We did one of the Lucky Dog too, and Rock and Shock a couple of times. Oh yeah, at our booth.
Well, the one with the Lucky Dog, it wasn't like people didn't come to see us. We just broadcasted from there, right?
Okay. Well,
Well, it's just a little different.
Yeah.
But we did one at ScareCon.
That's true, but sure.
We did broadcasts from ScareCon, and people were coming over and like watching us.
Yep.
You know, so there's that. We did some at Rock and Shock, but like that was more recording stuff.
Yeah.
You know, for later. So I don't necessarily include that. But
ScareCon was cool. We did win our award for our long form podcast because we are known for our length, as we know.
Yep. That could even be its own thing. But yeah, live shows. Great experience, and just seeing everyone live. It's such a different. I know we do the show live every week, but it's different seeing people's reactions, like seeing people's faces, you know, and being in front of everyone. Yeah. Definitely a different vibe and a different feeling. But yeah, those were a lot of fun. So, all right, MZ, how about you? Something else?
I'm going to say running the Q&A for Cassandra Peterson.
Yeah.
Which I thought was an absolute blast. I mean, never did I ever think that we would ever have anything to do with Cassandra Peterson.
Neither did she.
And and I'm sure she regrets it ever since. But I mean, she talked about how she was going to have her book coming out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of juicy stories in that. And by the way, if you have not read the book, I suggest you do. It's a very entertaining and interesting life that this woman has had. But just hearing her talking and, you know, and then the room was packed, you know. I mean, we were just a backdrop to her. We would ask her questions, and you know, and she would answer them, and just an absolute ball. And she was a complete sweetheart about it.
Yeah. It was literally packed. Like there was standing room only. They had to turn people away.
Yeah. It was.
But
crazy.
I was there.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember you.
That's right.
Yeah, you and Steph, I think, were there, if I recall. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I mean, I've always wanted to meet Cassandra Peterson, not so much Elvira, but Cassandra Peterson, and to run a Q&A with her was just an absolute joy to me. Incredible.
I forget how that all happened. It was ScareCon, right? Yeah, ScareCon.
That was ScareCon, and
they asked us.
I forget who it was. They just came up and asked us,
"Do
you want to run the Q&A with Elvira?"
Kevin Crook.
Kevin Crook, that's right.
Yep.
Yes.
He asked.
Such a brother.
Yeah, because I had told them that we would be happy to do some stuff like that if they needed someone, and then Kevin. I think he was supposed to originally do it, but then he had another one he had to do. So he's like, "Oh, do you guys want to do this?" I was like, "Do we?" fucking hell yeah, we do. So that was a blast though doing that, and to a lesser degree, the crowds weren't as big, but we did the Tony Moran and the PJ Souls Q&A, and then we also did the James Lorenz and Patty Mullen from Frankenhooker one.
Yeah.
Both were not very well attended.
Yeah. Which basically drew nothing.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for everybody. It's like, how can this draw nothing? I don't get it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
There was just no one there on that first night. The next day there was more people, but I think people just, I don't know, like it was fucking Springfield, Mass. I think people just wanted to wander around and look at the different vendors and stuff. So.
Yeah.
But that's a good one. Cassandra Peterson, great one. Let's see. Let me go through my list and see what's left. We've already talked about it a few times, so there's not too much to mention, I don't believe, beyond what was already said. But I'll call it being its own is Rock and Shock. We're at Rock and Shock every year. Once we started the show until it ended. So I want to say it was like 5 or 6, maybe 7 years. I don't remember like how long ago it ended, but at least 5.
19 was the last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we would have done
5 years ago. Wow.
We did 2000. 2012, because that's when we met Bill and Chris. The first one after we started doing our show. So yeah, so we did from 2012 to 2019, I guess. I don't think we missed any in there. It's at least 7. Let's see, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, 8. Yeah, 8 years, I guess. So 8 years in a row of doing Rock and Shock and just meeting tons of people. Like we used to, if I'm not mistaken, I think we used to hand out like highlights of the show. If I'm not, didn't we have like CDs?
I think we did. Yeah, we had CDs. We had
Greatest Hits. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We debuted the Greatest Hits at Rock and Shock. Yeah, so we had those. We had some other kinds of.
We had the Great Grimoire. I'm saying that his name wrong. The artist the first year.
Grimbro.
But then we were always. What?
Grimbro.
Grimbro. Yeah, I'm sorry, Grimbro.
Yeah, it's my boy. Yeah, my boy Grimbro.
And then we'd always package ourselves around like Nia D. Rook, but then OTC and everybody. So like that whole row was all our clique.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and then we were always with like OTC. Usually were anyways the last few years, and just various other people. We were like the home base. Like Josh used to come and hang out. Like Josh would put his shit down at our booth or Bill's booth, and we had let's see, trying to think of some other. Michael Neal would always put his stuff down at our booth. It was like home base for a few people. You know?
Yeah.
So that was a great time.
Came up, that once I changed to a different continuity, that would stay with me. You know what I mean? And just it was so special. The dinner, as fucked up as the bill became.
Yeah, it was my responsibility. I was the producer of the fucking money.
Yeah, I got the table, Wolfie.
I know you got the table. I had to fucking take care of the bill. Not pay it. I mean, I had to figure it out for everybody. You owe fucking $12.34. You owe $19.82. Raven Chow, you had 6 beers. You owe fucking $80.
That's why I always ordered beers that nobody got.
So no, that's a good one. Sorry. I guess I said that. So Rock and Shock. Yeah, that was just a blast. And that's how we met Josh. So, I mean, that's that alone. So many people. And Derek Rook.
And new listeners. Yeah.
New listeners.
So many. Like, the Rock and Shock was. We can't. There's too many folks to name, but thank everybody who was a part of that, man.
I still remember it was early on a Friday. Everybody was setting up. I'm walking down the aisle, and I was like, oh, clearly these people are desperate for attention. I'd better go talk to them.
Yeah.
12 years later.
In YouTube, I keep forgetting to check YouTube, but Creepy Girl was in there. She said, I'm at work sneaking in and watching you. She said, who started the whole thing? What was the origin? I can talk to that in a bit. And she said, original crew, were you always late? Oh my God, your voice sounds so different. And then our boy Joshua Libre popped in. He says, yep, OTC led me to Trick or Treat Radio. Love those Wednesday Night War episodes.
I remember sneaking fucking Joshua Libre over to Moynihan's for a drink. We got in trouble.
You did, yeah. You get in trouble every time you fucking went there.
I'm always in trouble, dog.
Misty from Scream Sisters says, hi, guys. Congratulations. Thanks, Misty.
Thank
you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And we also would talk to the Scream Sisters too. Had Rock and Shock, if I'm not mistaken.
Killing it, yeah.
Let me see the other chat. Live from NDA says 12 is the number of greatness. Happy TB12 anniversary. First time Mike says, what's up, family? Happy 12th anniversary, you guys, and hello to the Arkham Assassin, Josh.
Oh shit!
Somebody
got a new name. Why, hello.
Let's see. Rabid Dingo Massacre is hanging out.
Yes. Thank you.
Rabid Dingo Massacre says, hi, everyone. I can't fight the zero anymore. Improvised song by Mars was one of my favorite moments.
RDM.
That was pretty good. Some of the songs
that was pretty good. Yeah.
that was one of the things that we were like kind of almost known for, like in the early days, like, you know, when that fucking episode my brother was on, Sexy Librarian.
That was great. Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Or Sex Criminals, that's right.
Yeah.
Let's see. First time Mike says 3 words, Tiny Mars Sherlock. is that like yeah. Let's see. Rabidingo Masker says, wish I could have gone to Rock and Shock one time. I wonder who Rabidingo Masker is. Oh, I wonder if it was
RDM.
What?
RDM.
Yeah?
Yeah.
RDM. Okay.
RDM.
What does that mean?
Rapid Dingo Massacre.
Right. I said, I wonder who that is. And you said RDM. All you did was shorten the name.
Yeah, but you're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, boy, Josh.
And First Time Mike said, for me, it was the TVCU. That's right. I remember First Time Mike found us through the TVCU podcast.
Oh.
So, okay. So Rock and Shock. Josh, I don't mean to put you on the spot. If you have another one, feel free. But if not, we can keep going.
The last 2 you guys mentioned were 2 on my mind.
Oh, okay.
Cassandra Peterson,
Yep.
Q&A, and just Rock and Shock in general.
Yeah.
So I will just piggyback on Rock and Shock, and Raven Shadow will enjoy this. I didn't get to go to all of them, but I enjoyed the dinners. I always thought Raven Shadow got a good table.
Yep.
Thank you. I did.
All right, Raven Shadow. Speaking of getting the table, why don't you give us number 8, or an eighth, the 8th one? It's not necessarily number 8.
Yeah, I'll definitely. I'll bring an 8th.
Bring an 8th.
The fucking feedback, dude. Like the fucking voicemails, the fucking like
The interaction.
The interactions. Yes, thank you. You're welcome. Like it's all the feedback. Normally I don't need that, but like I
No,
love
you,
it.
you do. No, you do.
You could use some constructive criticism. But no, like there's way too many cats to fucking mention, dude. But like everybody,
no doubt.
like come on. So much of the best moments of the show have either been a voicemail that we fucking all popped for, or that sent us in a fucking weird fucking direction. From Gungaban to fucking whatever the fuck. Like, thank you everybody that's contributed, past, present, and hopefully future.
Like this? Oh wait.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Exactly like that.
Just
didn't
like
play. Here we go.
Take.
Yeah.
Wins.
You guessed it. Take.
Well, and speaking of, call-ins and the aforementioned songs, whatever happened to the Chocolate Beast?
Yeah, what happened, Raven Shadow?
He might be extinct.
Yeah.
I think it might be because of the deforestation.
Yeah.
Or at least DeForest Kelly. I'm not sure which came first, but it's not looking good.
No.
I blame global warming.
Greetings. We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala podcast.
I was looking for the
They're
chocolate.
pretty good.
I was looking for the Chocolate Beast thing. I don't know why that played. Okay. Yeah.
His next choice is the ads. The ads are his next favorite part.
And then
What about the what was it? Chocolate Chic, remember?
oh, chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A chocolate chic.
Oh no, it was. Oh my god.
Was it?
Nougat.
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 It's
I am
Nougat.
the, oh fuck. Oh fucking Nougat.
Yeah, and
Free Nougat.
I will mention a few people.
Oh, that's a chocolate chic.
What?
The chocolate chic was all about Nougat.
Yeah.
Ted Nougat.
No, it's Chocolate Beast.
No, it's chocolate No. This is like the Mandela effect.
There was the
Yeah.
Beast and the Sheep.
Yeah, there's both.
Did he get promoted to chic?
Yes, he did.
Like, what's the hierarchy? You go
Beast,
like
then
if you're like
Chic.
a tier 3, Do you go from beast to chic or chic to beast?
From chic to from beast to chic.
Beast to chic, or like what's the pecking order? Because he had the caramel clutch. That's fucking funny as fuck.
So there's a couple people. So we've had some amazing interaction over the years. I'm not singling anybody out. Anyone who has literally taken the time to send us a single voice message, you have our eternal gratitude. Like
we've all popped. Like we've all popped for you.
But some memorable, like back in the day, the fucking king of the voice message, who basically created the voice message as we all know it, was Sir Isaac.
Yeah, Sir Isaac.
Back in the day, would put together something almost every week. And then for a while, we had fucking Nicholas, I would say almost every week we had something from Nick for a while. And
Nicholas whining Athanas.
But one of the strangest, not strangest, but one of the the most fascinating was the real life fucking adventures of Drive Jacket Mark.
Oh shit! Oh yeah. Leave the doors unlocked.
Leaving those doors unlocked.
And then Drive Jacket Becky was
Drive Jacket Becky. Yeah.
I love the progression of Drive Jacket Mark. How you seem to turn a new leaf and evolved.
Yeah.
And I just hope my brother's doing well. Like Dane, Tim's. Do you guys know Drive Jacket Mark? Is that right?
So yeah, I mean, we could go on and on about the listener interaction and feedback. We've had so many.
You're all killer.
Everyone, yeah, like everyone who has ever left a voice message. And
when was the last time you heard from the city of Worcester?
It's been a while.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Speaking of Sir Isaac,
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, and then there's, once again, I apologize. I don't want to name names because if you're listening and we forget somebody, we look like assholes and we're coming up with stuff off the cuff. So, but Gene Siskel's balding head, he did the take these broken wings.
Cody,
you see, you don't do it. Don't do it.
I can't. It's thank you. There's so fucking many. Just thank you.
And he's right here, and fucking Arkham Josh has some of the best voice messages with his thoughts on film and correcting us. I love it. So
yeah, he's okay.
I gave up on correcting you guys.
He's all
right. Let's see. Chat real quick. First time Mike says the references when you mentioned the BBC Sherlock and Tiny and Mars did the Benedict Cumberbatch song. Yeah.
Oh.
That's right. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Live from NDA says Rock and Shock changed my world, brought in some amazing pals to my life.
Oh, goddamn, pal.
Yeah, absolutely. First time Mike says confession, I fucking love Mr. Mister. I do too, first time Mike.
You guys are still cool.
RDM says favorite moment is how Drive Jacket Mark went on FilipinoDating.com. It was never seen or heard from again.
That's a super dope show that should have been 5 seasons. Was canceled in 2.
I know.
What the fuck happens next?
Seriously though, I know he could take a joke. Last I heard, he got married, probably doing the whole family life thing, and doesn't have time to hang out in chat rooms. I can't say hi being anonymous. I've got a rare day off from work on a Friday. I still listen to the show. He wants to be anonymous, but he said his name, so I don't know if he wants.
Do we know that person?
Yeah. His first name sometimes is Dingo.
Oh shit.
He said, P.S. the guys just mentioned Mark. Yeah. So he mentioned the Drive Jack and Mark right before we did.
So many brothers and sisters over. There's been there's so fucking many. Like,
Yeah,
it's even caused arguments. Like, thank you to everybody, and please, if you've, I'm not saying we're gonna go 12, but please, if you're a long time first time, please jump in because you guys are dope.
We've literally heard from like almost every continent in the world. You guys remember Kostroma, Russia? We had a fucking caller from Russia.
Yep.
We had our boy Vesa from Finland.
The great Vesa.
Yeah.
And also worth mentioning, we have lost a couple listeners, unfortunately.
Yep.
One of them, Baka Chewy, was someone who I've known for years. I used to work with him, actually. He actually ended up tuning into the podcast and really liking it. And he would send me messages, and he's like, I don't like to send in voice messages, but he would send me movie reviews in text, and I would read them. But great dude. We lost him in the last year. And you want the honors, Raven Chat? I know you hung out a lot on the... Okay. So... I mean, also we've lost. Well, I'm trying to think. Is there anyone else? I thought we might have lost someone else, but he was I feel like an asshole now because I forget his real name. Let me look. I have it on Patreon. I'll look.
See. Yeah. I mean, like, it's been a journey, man. A lot can happen in 12 years, man. You know. Man, everybody, few people, but we can only thank you. Just all we can say is thank you for all your contributions, and that's been probably one of the best parts of all of any host, past, present, potentially future, moments.
So I don't think we ever did real names, but I think he told us his real name on Blackout Tapes. But Caleb, otherwise known as Riku, who we did lose a couple years ago, was a Patreon supporter right up until the end, and man, it's a shame. So that's we could go on and on with listener interaction feedback. I'll cap it at this and say that it has been the lifeblood of this show. The live interactions that we've had, the people who have shared the show, the people who have sent in feedback, all that. Like, we would not be doing this still if it weren't for you guys. And like, we've tried to make it welcoming and make it so that people can actually like call in and have fun and not worry about us busting on people or talking shit about people, because that's not what you do. And I feel like we've made a pretty good environment, hopefully. And so thank you to everybody who's interacted with the show at any point in time.
Yeah, from Sir Isaac to fucking Noob Sidebot, everybody in between, man.
Yep.
Like, everybody, bros and sisters, like, thank you. We love you all. Like,
first time Mike.
Just to cap it.
Okay, good.
Just to cap it, I mean, like, we've some of the best early feedback was that we've helped people get through their fucking 9-to-5 job with tough times, but like, you folks have helped us still. Whatever the fuck. So the admiration is all on this side.
Yep, absolutely. Right. So chat room, first time Mike says, rest in peace, Riku. Marion pours some out for Riku. And Evil Corny also says, rest in peace, Riku.
Yep.
So, all right, listener interaction feedback. MZ, you want to toss another one out? You got another one?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna. This will be my last. I guess these are gonna be the last ones.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna go and say when I passed out.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
Yeah.
I was hoping someone would do it. So
I mean, a little on the nose, but yeah, I mean, come on, that's the fucking that's in the commercial.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. When I passed out, and these two yokels are just yucking it up, and they're not saying a thing. They don't notice that I'm practically dead.
I have a good excuse. No one else does.
what? Whoa! You mean no one else is me, motherfucker?
Right. I just put it on. I got the GIF up over MZ's face right now.
And now he's dead.
Listen, I got the fucking
See?
gif of Gab, dog. What the fuck?
Raven Shadow, you were looking at him. I
was looking at me in the monitor.
I was looking at 3 monitors, looking forward.
I was admiring my look in the monitor.
I was literally looking at my hair.
Yeah, I was going to say he was checking his hair in the monitor.
Yeah.
And he didn't realize that you were dead right in front of him.
Yeah, no. Well, why would that happen? Josh, why would I think at that time a 40-something-year-old man would fucking die on his own joke?
That's the dumbest part of the whole thing. I passed out laughing. I passed out laughing at my own joke. Who the hell does that?
No one.
It was a funny joke.
No one.
Don't get me wrong.
The eyes of my father. The eyes of my mother.
Yeah, I would hope it's a good joke. Jesus, I hate to think that I passed out almost dying from a joke that I didn't. That wasn't.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I literally tell it every Thanksgiving.
That would be more embarrassing.
To your
You
family?
should be embarrassed. Yeah.
All right.
When my
so
dad tries to figure out what station Trick or Treat Radio is on, I'm
he's
like,
still
nah,
looking
it's
for it
podcast,
12
but-
years later.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to talk.
That passed out on his own joke.
We don't need to talk anymore about that. That is definitely one of the most talked about moments.
Right.
Yeah.
So MZ passing out. Remember what episode still,
I love
MZ?
you.
227.
So if you got to go watch 227,
Wait,
it was kind of
that's-
near the end.
Funny in a lot of. Is it really 227?
It's episode 227, somewhere around hour and 50-minute mark, or hour and 49 or hour and 50-minute mark. That's when it happens.
There you go.
He knows because his doctor asks to see it all the time.
Yeah. MZ doesn't lie to his doctor. He gives him fucking timestamp. It says, "Here you go, doc."
That's right, I do.
Listen, for all the shit I fucking intake to my body the nights I've never passed out on my own. Maybe I'm not that funny.
Well,
I guess.
probably. All right,
I
let's
think I am. Ask Mary.
let's keep going. Let me read the chat real quick. Rabbit Dingo Masker said, "I said my name to not be anonymous." Okay, so it's Dane, our boy, fucking Dane.
Hey,
Dingo
Dane.
Dainanda. I feel like such an idiot doing the fucking the accent, but Dane, man, love that dude. Dane's fucking, he's the best. Dane says, "I said my name to not be anonymous, but anyway, hi FTM Corny. Sorry guys, long time no talk. I got a new job in the last few years in the public service. Very busy, hard job, but rewarding, pays good. I've just recently cut back on doing a lot of overtime. But enough about me. Gonna hang today. Love all you people, past and present, and the sense of community you've given me. That I'm not the only weird horror monster and movie obsessed guy out there." Well, that says it all, man. Like seriously, Dane. Like it's like I sometimes like dislike when people call things, like when they call their work a family. They're like, "Oh, like it's just one big family," you know. Like people say that about work with people you don't want to fucking even talk to or see, you know. Like that's
accurate.
That's
Maybe
that's
more
not
accurate.
that's not a family. But I'm hesitant to use that, but I feel like it's almost like that here. You know what? If you go away for a couple of years for whatever reason and you come back, we'll give you a fucking hug and a kiss, like Raven Shadow says. Right? Doesn't
it's like
matter.
fucking once an Avenger, always an Avenger,
Yeah.
dog. You know what I mean? Like once you fucking TORTR, bro, cis, trans, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Didn't expect that route, but like, yeah, whoever that you are,
You're welcome.
you're part of the clique.
And not when I say you're welcome, I mean you're welcome here, not you're welcome.
I wasn't sure. I was gonna step over it, but that's cool that you clarified it.
And Evil Corny says MZ blamed me for not doing anything when he passed out during the Rock and Shock live show.
It's true.
I do remember that. You're like, Corny, why didn't you do something? Yeah, Ringo taking.
Even the listeners didn't do anything.
RDM says the balls of my father. I think. Yep, that was it.
Yeah,
That was it. RDM.
It's not that it's not a good joke.
Oh, Marion posted the GIF. She still has it.
Yeah,
she made it.
She created
Yeah,
it.
she made it. Yeah, and
And to be fair, Marion kept the show going a couple times.
oh, well, she's a fucking saint for even putting up with you for more than a couple days. So
That's fair.
Evil Corny posted a GIF of 227. That was a show, right? Sitcom.
Yeah, Jack Hay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he posted a GIF of that.
Yeah. And the chick that became Sister fucking whatever the fucking Watchman.
Oh yeah, that's right. Marion says my favorite GIF I've ever made. Yep, it's a good one. All right, let's keep going. MZ passing out. We got that. Let's just throw some out. Anyone else have any others? Because I got two more, and we have three spots. So.
Yeah, well, I guess it's kind of my closer, but I might be fucking throwing it early. The Patreon. Thank you.
That
so
was going to
much.
be my next one. So good. I'm glad you took that.
Oh, for liggity doo doo. Thank you so much. You've all kept this going longer than you probably know, and whether it's the blackout tapes, the fucking the Masterpiece Theater, the cartoon event, just the conversations we've all had from past, present, and future, and just thank you, Patreon, because we literally could not do this without you.
Yeah. And I mean, there's not too much more that I could say, but we've been doing the Patreon for, I think, just over 5 years now. Yeah. And legitimately, I don't know that we would have made it to 12 without Patreon. There was some lean times in there for several of us. And, it does get a little expensive. It's to do the show. So we appreciate so very much all the support that you guys have provided. And I know I always feel like we don't do enough for the Patreon folks. I feel like we should be doing more, and I do want to continue to do some more live shows and things like that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for just hanging in there and for supporting us and being our friends and just helping keep this going. Because otherwise, I legitimately think this wouldn't be going without Patreon. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that was a good one. I'll pull back another one that I was going to leave off. And that is, so some of our, I guess I'll just do like memorable movie discussions. There's been a few. I would say one of the most memorable has to be Dear God No, right?
Well, we'll touch upon that later on today.
Yeah,
sure.
it spawned a fucking award, right? The Dear God No award every year. One of the sound clips that, we don't play it all that often anymore, but one of the sound clips that just fucking endured for a long time. Let me cue it up here because it's been a while.
It's the soundbite that could have got you evicted.
Could have got you evicted. Oh, me. Yes.
It was so loud. Yeah, not us, but you.
Let's see. Can I play it?
Because it was in your apartment.
Yeah.
And the anger, is vitriol a word? Is vitriol?
Yeah, vitriol.
It is.
Dear God, no!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dear God, no!
Yeah. Now imagine having kids going to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you hear that.
So I'm going to piggyback on this because I was going to say something I wanted to bring up, but I would not throw in for an official, pick. But for me has been the opportunity to make film recommendations that would both delight and infuriate you guys.
What are examples of each? Can you think, Josh?
Well, I feel like you guys were probably delighted to rewatch Dudes.
Oh,
And-
yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for as great of a film as it is, I'm pretty sure you guys were all infuriated by Plague Dogs.
I didn't think that one, Josh.
I don't know. Well, I wasn't infuriated, but that was a fucking, oh man, that was depressing as fuck. That was one of the first times I think you picked the films. And
Yeah.
yeah, you picked Plague Dogs. And we're like, what the fuck? This dude picked this depressing ass movie.
It's a good movie.
Yo, man,
though.
Josh sucks all of a sudden, dog.
We thought Josh was cool. What the fuck?
Yeah, I thought he was fucking cool, man. Nice fucking friends.
Uh,
So the other film discussion would be Contracted. I think that one was also very memorable back in the day.
Yeah.
I think the thing is nowadays we're a lot nicer about our films discussions. So I think that's part of it. But
it was like fucking Piranha.
yeah, but we did have we did The Ghastly Love of Johnny X, and the director fucking was pissed at us, and he called in and left a fucking voice message, and basically defended all the shit that we said about his movie.
You know what? It
And
didn't
then-
change our mind, but I give him respect.
Absolutely,
I give the cat respect.
he came on and he came on the
Sure.
show.
I mean, I tried watching it again maybe about 3 or 4 months ago, and I still couldn't get through it.
I think we wanted to like it.
Oh yeah,
And granted, there was a lot of fucking trials and tribulations going on.
yeah.
But what are you gonna do? But mad props to my man. You know,
Yeah, and just to name some quick ones, some other memorable ones, not it like in a different way. Obviously, Miami Connection, huge. You know that defined a lot about our show for a while. There's that Neon Maniacs.
yeah, I was just going to bring that one up.
Yeah,
Carlotta.
yeah. We were fucking. Our boy Steven Scarlotta called us the Neon Maniacs of podcasting. So. So you know that had to be one of them.
Still not sure if that's a compliment.
Well, I'll take it as one. I'm sure there's some others. It's difficult to. I have all the movies. You know what? Like one we did recently, actually. I'll wait for Raven Chow to get back. One we did recently. That I think was memorable. Maybe not the review, but the movie, like Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls.
Yeah,
That one totally took us by surprise, and we you know, like, you know, we're quoting it and everything. Like, I still, me and Tanya still say, I don't know. Like, we'll just jokingly
I
be
take a
like,
big old shit.
I gotta take a big old shit. But that
right now.
that movie surprised me. I really dug that.
Because I want to hate it.
Well, I didn't even know what to think of it at. Like, I was like, what is it? I don't even know what this is. The name is like weird. Like, it's a long name. And then,
I knew I wanted to hate it.
I forget where the Renfield Bring Me My Ass Cane came from, but that was something that sort of endured. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think like, Blood In, Blood Out. We did that with EF. That was fucking fun. Like doing that one.
Oh my God. The Patreon takeovers. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we might have to have some amendments, but like, oh my goodness. Like, fuck you, dude.
The dash cam one, I actually remember that being a little bit memorable because
Who the fuck picked that?
me?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That sucked.
I'm talking about the memorable film reviews discussions. Okay.
Oh, Ganga Bon.
Well, that wasn't a film discussion.
Who cares?
But all right, the last one, the last thing I'll bring up. Have you guys done all yours that you wanted to bring up? Because we're at 11.
What numbers do we have? I have at least an honorable mention.
Okay, let me do mine then. This will be quick because I think I want to kind of save some of this stuff till the end. That might, depending on if we get any voice messages for what I wanted to do, the 12 labors of Trick or Treat Radio. But I don't think we'll have enough labors. But I think our personal growth. Like, I know it's not a moment, but that is something that is demonstrable and trackable. We can look at the early episodes and see like the trajectory of our growth and how we've grown as people and how we kind of understand the world around us and how we've changed with it, you know. And I will say I'm proud of all of you guys, you know, because, you know, like I think some had to go kicking and screaming into the future, but, you know, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm overstating that a little bit, but, you know, I think from where we came and some of the incidents on the show in the past, you know, to where we are, I feel like there has been a very clear character arc for everybody. And I am proud of you guys and us for, you know, kind of where we have landed. And, you know, there's still room for improvement, but I think that has been a hallmark of the show and one of the cool things if you followed it for more than a few years, I think.
Well, I would agree too. I mean, yeah, there in the archives, I'm not sure what the questions might be, but there are definitely moments that I am not proud of. Whether it be personal or whatever the fuck thing, but I think that what remains is the friendship from the people involved. And yeah, man, like, you know, it was exciting. Like when I didn't know what a fucking podcast was aside from like This American Life.
I don't think you knew what a podcast was until a couple years ago when you started listening to them.
Actually, what's today's date? I'm not sure.
You're like, wait, we like people listen to this? I thought we were just hanging out.
Like what's Jericho do? But yeah, like I don't know, but I'm a Stern fan, and so maybe I don't know.
Right. I mean, that's easy to get when you know that, you know.
You know, but like it is, and I think I too am proud of us. I'm proud of me for being alive. To be fair,
me too.
Most folks.
I mean, most people took you in the death pool, so.
Yeah. Who fucking saw this fucking coming? but no, thank you.
All right, so there you go. Evil Corny says, "Where did fuck this movie soundbite come from?" So I got it right here.
That was Jared Blinkhorn.
Yeah, right? Yeah, here it is.
Fuck this movie.
That's Jared Blinkhorn's daughter.
Yeah.
And yeah, actually, RDM, Rabbit Dingo Masker, said it wasn't it Blinkhorn's little daughter? Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Fuck this movie.
Oh my god, I love the timeline too of like people like, you know, busting balls.
Yeah.
And that's great. Can I give my one honorable mention real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
The time when we left Scaricon and Ernie Hudson stole our table.
Yes. That was pretty good.
Because it really happened. There was literally like 12 of us, and there was 12 chairs. Ernie Hudson came in.
Yeah, had they start to get the table ready for us? I don't remember.
We were waiting, and they were on the fence because we walked up. Because apparently everything in Springfield closes at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And we walked past the fucking police car that had the doors open that crashed like it was an extra in The Running Man. Like just literally living in the common. And that's when the guy thought I was John Wick.
That's right. Yeah.
And everybody left me but Wolfie.
This is a story of your life.
One table. Yeah, right. That sucks. Why do all the women leave me but Wolfie's still fucking there?
And men.
Is this just a long story about how Raven Shadow failed to get the table?
I fucking Josh.
He got the table, but he failed to get anything else.
Yeah. And that's when we met Second Rusty in the hotel lobby.
Oh yeah. That was fucking funny, yeah.
And Ernie Hudson rolls in with his dwarf manager and blonde like liaison.
Yep.
and there was a party of 6. We had a party at 12. There was seats for fucking 13. I'm not good at math, but fuck you, Ernie Hudson.
So Marion has a very good observation here. I feel like Raven Shadow has grown so much, in parentheses, since we started dating, LOL. I agree. That's why I say Marion is a saint, because she puts up with your bullshit.
Yeah, she has straightened you out quite considerably.
It's not easy.
And all of our significant others, like, legit. I'm not speaking of Josh, because I didn't know Josh before Steph. I don't think. I think you're already with Steph when I met you. But like, I'm like a completely different person. Like, you guys might not even see it now, but like, yeah,
No, we do.
Tanya is like by far the best thing that's ever happened to me. So, and MZ's not wife zero, never be wife zero, but girlfriend zero. She keeps him fed, she keeps him happy, she keeps him safe and out of trouble and full of squash.
And squash is good for you.
It is.
Yeah.
So,
About in Maine, you can grow a lot of squash, really good.
Yeah. There's plenty of room.
That squash is so good, you skip hanging out with Garando for.
Yeah, that's true. So, Evil Corny says, since you got rid of that George Costanza wallet of his, to Marion, that fucking wallet. You know what?
He did, yeah.
You know what? That was the fucking turnaround. You had all your fucking skeletons in that wallet, Raven Shadow.
Yeah,
we can tie.
Tonight, I'm cleaning up my wallet. I'm fucking like Eminem. Like, I'm sorry, Mama.
We can tie your fucking bullshit to that wallet.
Yeah, that thing was a fucking anchor.
Yeah, fucking yeah, bro.
That's so funny.
Cleaning up my wallet.
RDM Rabbit Dingo Masker says, I seen Miami Connection for the first time in a cinema at Monster Fest. They will often throw a classic or two in, and I totally got it. So much fun. Was a laughing and grinning ear to ear. Friends for Eternity. My letter. And he said they also showed Action USA. Motherfuckers. So awesome. Let me see any other chat. Okay, I think we're good on chat. So we got 12 moments, 12 events, 12 things, whatever you want to call it. We are obviously running really late. I do want to get to the film discussion. You guys want to take a quick break?
Yeah,
yes.
Honkies.
Okay. Marion says, oh my God, the wallet, the action sack, and the phone. The action sack.
Wow,
I forgot.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. Do you still have the action sack, Raven Chow?
Somewhere, maybe.
Oh, first time Mike says Raiders of Atlantis. Yes, that's a good one. That fucking film. Wash, I deactivated the radiation.
I can't move immobilized.
I can't move immobilized. That fucking movie is great.
Fucking Brazilian fucking Shawn Michaels, fucking zombie fucking
Plague of
Zombie Mutant Zone, yeah.
Zombies.
Oh my gosh.
Marion says those were all on my to-go list.
What, get the fuck out?
The wallet, the action sack, and the phone. That fucking old flip phone or something, right? Wasn't it a flip phone?
No, it wasn't a fucking flip phone, Wolfie. Because I had the fucking phone you made Facebook happen for me.
I don't remember.
No, it wasn't even a flip phone. It was a Nokia brick.
What about
Nokia. All right, let's take a quick
Don't
break.
forget about me.
We're not going to do the whole fucking. One more thing. Sorry. Rabbit Dingo Masker says the wallet was classic. Talking about sound bites, my absolute favorite, and I really do believe one of the funniest things I've ever heard is I could be standing outside a woman's prison with a fistful of 50s and a bouquet of dildos, and no woman would come near me.
I also mention that at Thanksgiving every year.
Dingo Dane says, I used it in a comedy bit. Oh, that's so fucking good. I want to hear that, Dane. It's funny.
That's fucking so good.
It's funny because I actually queued that up for the break prior to Dane saying that. So,
oh, my chest hurts.
you smell burnt toast?
Oh my God. Oh, you making toast?
All right, so we're gonna head to the commercial break real quick. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but if you guys want to support us, patreon.trickortreatradio.com. That's the best place to do it. And on trickortreatradio.com, you can click on the Amazon link, and you can also click on store. Those are the ways you can support us. Boom, done. Raven Shadow, I guess we should do this. Make it quick. What did you do to prepare to watch Intrepidos, punks?
Went to a party with a family I knew for since 2021. It was a Costa Rican Spanish party. I was only one or two white boys there. It was a mix between straight, gay, and trans. Everyone was flowing. There was a shock pinata full of fucking condoms and nips. It was dope. Played dominoes, and you better believe, in preparation for 12-year anniversary. Thank you so much, Marion, for picking me up. You get the Raven Shadow of the week. I strapped on.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories.
With your hosts, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
We have action,
horror,
and adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
A podcast for the barbarian at heart.
I'm Alex West.
And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephalopodcast, a bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music. Pants. Quoting video games that don't have dialogues. Shabibans. Tasty news.
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
Butt breathers. Uncomfortable nature facts.
Or how to install a thermoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Reductopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we?
We sure do. So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
like me,
worry not, gentle listener. Next week we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Inebriard Podcast Network, with new episodes out every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify,
I could be
Stitcher,
staying outside a woman's prison in a fistful of 50s and a bouquet of dildos, and no woman would come near me.
Did you say a bouquet of dildos?
And we are back on Trick or Treat Radio. And it's time to talk about a movie. That movie is Intrepidos Punks from 1988. It is, it says 91 minutes. The one I have, I think, was 88 minutes. The VHS. And there's also the... Actually, do you know, MZ, if the Vinegar Syndrome, did it add anything in? Do you know? Did it mention?
Yeah. Let me see. Let me see. Well, it says here that it's... Well, actually, on the Vinegar Syndrome release, which is this right here.
Yep.
Look at that cover.
Josh has his too. Yeah.
It shows the combination of both films, Intrepidos Punks and The Vengeance of the Punks, at a combined time of 175 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I believe it does say at the beginning of Intrepidos Punks that there's an added 10 minutes, and they use different cuts of the film to create its most complete uncensored version.
I can clarify.
Okay, please do.
The version on here is still 88 minutes. The only film print that was available was a broadcast print that had been edited for TV.
Oh.
So the other stuff had to be filled back in from other sources.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we keep you around, Josh.
So, okay, there you go. So, 88 minutes, but yeah, the Vinegar Syndrome has a little extra. And MZ, so it's funny. So how this all came about, I talked about it a little bit earlier about how Josh had mentioned this on the show almost 10 years ago, this movie, but MZ, like, we were literally talking about what are we going to do this week, and then MZ's like, oh, I'm watching this movie, it's ridiculous, and you sent a picture, and I'm like, why don't we fucking do that? So MZ, you want to talk about that?
I sent them a screenshot of the scene with Tarzan, who is the leader of the punks, and his main squeeze, whose name I forget, and another guy. And she's they're like sitting on logs or whatever, and she's dead center in the middle with her legs spread wide open, wearing her that studded bikini thing that she had going on. And it was the line that said, we are out of nose candy and weed.
Yeah.
I know the exact scene that you're speaking of. And her character name is Beast.
Beast. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, Beast. That's it.
And Tarzan is played by a guy who I'm assuming is a wrestler.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who he was.
Under the name El Phantasma.
Oh.
El Phantasma, yeah.
Yeah. Because, on IMDb, it doesn't list like who plays who. It only has a couple... It only has a couple people, the characters that they play. So I was having trouble. I guess I could have looked elsewhere. Let me look it up. Because there was a couple wrestling moves. There was a high cross body. There was like, was it a pile driver? Yeah, that's right.
And a vicious pile driver. One of the most vicious pile drivers I've ever seen in a film. My God, that looked real.
Yeah, and when seeing his fights, his build, and the fact that he always wears like very like luchador style masks.
Yeah, covering his face. Yeah.
I kind of got he was like an evil Santos.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Yeah. I'm looking it up to see if I can find who is who. Yeah, El Phantasma. Let me look up El Phantasma.
Well, while you're looking that up, may I give the synopsis of the film?
Sure.
All right.
Oh, shit. It's a 0.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it says here 87 minutes. All right. All right, Intrepidos Punks. After Fiera and her punk cohorts break into the leader Tarzan out of prison, no one is safe. The newly reunited gang are quick to resume their favorite pastimes, robbing banks, brokering drug deals, and securing weapons, all while leaving a trail of mutilated corpses in their wake. As the entire countryside becomes caught up in the punks' lifestyle of debauchery and violence, it is up to federal agents Javier and Marco to track them down before bloodthirsty anarchy becomes the new way of life.
That's what it's about?
That's what it's about.
Shit.
And they have, it's funny because in this movie there's like this, there's like a small musical number, and it's with the same song, Intrepidos punks, Intrepidos punks. And when you find out what the lyrics are, because of course it's all in Spanish, but when you find out what the lyrics are, they are just the most I don't know how you put it, most simplistic sounding lyrics you will ever find about a deadly, bloodthirsty biker gang full of punks.
Well, so one funny thing is the band Three Souls in My Mind are not punk in any way. I actually have their record with that song on it.
Oh, God damn you.
Yeah. I actually, when Johnny messaged me to be like, hey, we're doing this movie, have you ever seen it? I sent him a picture of the record. Now, the funny thing to me is it just me, or does this film's entire vision of punk come from those 2 or 3 recurring punk characters in all the 80s trauma films?
Absolutely.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah.
This was Spanish Dreadnoughts the movie. Right? Like, if you were a fan of G.I. Joe, like in the 80s, specifically the Sunbow cartoon, you know, and a lot of Dreadnoughts were Australian. But this was like, because this was what, at least 87, right?
I'd say this was probably like 86, 87, you know?
Okay. So I want to say that Torch, Ripper, and Buzzer were in the 85 line. The 86 line or 87 had Xandar, Zorana, Monkey Wrench, and Thrasher, who drove the Thunder Machine. And there was clearly a motherfucker in this movie that had Thrasher's fucking haircut, and there were cats dressed like Road Pig. The chick that was the female Dee Snider, come on. Like, she fucking stayed hungry. It was kind of like if Zorana led the Spanish Dreadnoughts and they wanted to bust out her brother Zartan, who she happened to be fucking. And as much a fan as I am of not only G.I. Joe but the Dreadnoughts, I realize I don't want a fucking a Dreadnought movie, because the first hour fucking killed me. God damn, pal.
But
it's the Dreadnoughts, right? Come on.
Well, and like I'm saying, and I know MZ, you know exactly what I mean, and like in Toxic Avenger, like Nuke 'Em High, those 80s trauma films, they had those like 2 or 3 always in the background characters that were just these like completely off the wall characters that were supposed to be punks. But you're like, no punk looks like that.
Yeah, like in Nuke 'Em High, you would get like the chick with the white mohawk sticking straight up with the little Hitler mustache.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and you would see her again in Street Trash, but you would never see her ever again. I always wondered whatever happened to her. But yeah,
where was the Hitler mustache?
I don't know. Under her nose, I would imagine. But but yeah, this movie, the idea of punk in this movie is so outrageously over the top. I mean, because it's all like big hair, big tits, and big motorcycles.
And I like how one of the bikes has the Yes logo painted on the back.
Yes. Yeah. Right. And every time, I watched this movie a couple of times already, and I love it.
Yeah.
And and the one thing that caught my eye more than anything was the makeup around the eyes with these punks, and it's like, okay, I can understand the hair, you have to tease it up and everything like that, but I can't imagine a bloodthirsty, all hopped up in nose candy and weed, drinking, alcohol and beer and liquor and whatever, and then the next morning taking the time to intricately draw cobwebs around your eyeballs. Just the whole idea behind it is just so silly to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it completes the look, but at the same time, the realism is, would somebody really take the time out to do that? No,
and then there's like totally random things. Like there's a guy who, like, besides his clothes, doesn't look punk at all, but he has his lower lip and one ear painted green. Like,
and everybody has a mohawk.
Yeah,
that's the code of the punk. You gotta have a mohawk. If you don't have a mohawk, you're kind of like lower level punk. But everybody has a mohawk, and everybody's hair is dyed purple, green, yellow, orange, white, red, blue, whatever. I mean, if you had hair like what we have, you would be considered a weirdo.
Yeah.
It was so over the top. But you love it because it's just because it's so over the top. Also when you look at something like Return of the Living Dead, look at the punks in that.
Yeah.
There's a couple that would fit in that crowd. Scuzz would fit in that crowd.
Oh, there was there was definitely a Spanish Linnea Quigley. Let's just throw it out there right now.
You mean?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. A couple things I want to chime in on real quick.
Yeah.
One unrelated to the movie, but let's see. Marion says the phone was just so old he'd pop the battery to restart it. Talking about your old phone. That's why she had to get rid of it.
That's fucked up. I thought she meant the movie.
No. First time Mike says Raven Shadow's stories have gotten less surrealistic over the years. Wow. You got to change that, Raven Shadow.
I'm not sure what that means.
Rabidingo Masker says, I like stupid, funny shit that makes me laugh. Can Johnny ask MZ if he remembers where I had sex with a pig came from?
It was the 1993 Grafton High.
Do you remember, MZ?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, I have the sound clip. Let me play it.
Okay.
I had sex with a pig.
I don't know. Just a funny clip now.
Yeah, well,
Number 13.
It has to come from a movie discussion somewhere.
Yes.
Where he's speaking as a character.
Yeah, it has to.
It's not like I was having sex with a couch. Okay, so let's put that on different.
Really?
I have no idea. I have zero idea.
I'm gonna fuck that couch.
I have zero idea. I've had sex with lots of things, but I don't know. I have no idea. I think if you were even to ask me what I was talking about the day after I said it, I still wouldn't remember. But anyway, back to the movie.
Well, the other thing I was going to add, this is related to the movie. El Fantasma, as Josh mentioned, played Tarzan, and he is a luchador, El Fantasma, and I do recognize his mask. It looks like the Phantom, like the character of the Phantom. His mask looks like that.
You think so?
The wrestler El Fantasma is who I'm talking about, Raven Shadow.
You think he looks like the ghost that walks?
His luchador mask, El Fantasma, not the dude in this, not the mask in this movie. The mask he wears when he wrestles looks like the Phantom. You don't even know what El Fantasma looks like. What are you fucking talking about?
Are you talking about Billy Zane the Phantom and Lee Fox Phantom, or?
I'll show you, and then you can tell me, okay?
Why don't you just tell me before? You don't mean the purple guy in the fucking jumpsuit, the ghost that walks.
I'm gonna put it on.
You never see this guy's face in the movie, nor in the sequel, for that matter.
Right.
He looked like a Spanish stripper on the fucking Smiling Bear podcast.
Is that one of the ones you listen to?
It's not a podcast; it's a porn site. The Dancing Bear.
It's not the Grateful Dead.
I've heard of dance. I know the Dancing
Of course
Bear.
you have. Yeah.
All right.
I know
can you see the picture, Raven Shadow?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that look like the Phantom's mask to you?
I mean, it's got purple on the top.
Oh, God damn it! It doesn't remind you about the Phantom whatsoever.
Listen, I love you, but are we talking about Lee Fox the Phantom or like
How many of the Phantoms do you know of?
I'm done.
I know a lot of Phantoms. I'm in the city. I am. I mean,
you see that mask? If I showed you that mask and I said, "What does this make you think of?" What would you say?
It reminds me of Rey Mysterio in Hollywood Havoc, Halloween Havoc, who was clearly doing a Phantom gimmick when he fought Eddie Guerrero.
This dude started wrestling in 1979.
You know what? Lee Fox, the Phantom, predates Batman in 1939. So what do you think about that? Who's the goose now? I'm just saying that. Are we talking about the same Phantom?
No. We're not talking about the Phantom at all. Let's talk about this movie. So, the other thing about El Phantasma that is interesting. Anyone that watches WWE nowadays would know his son is Santos Escobar, and he's in WWE. So El Phantasma's son, the guy who plays Tarzan in this movie, has a son that's in WWE.
Wow.
Santos Escobar. Yep.
Wow.
He used to be El Hijo del Fantasma, the son of El Phantasma. But now that he's in WWE, he's Santos Escobar. So there you go. Just a little tidbit.
When are we going to get the son of
Intrepidos Punks? El Hijo Intrepidos Punk. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you guys want to get Intrepidos Punks and Vengeance of the Punks, the sequel, you can go to vinegarsyndrome.com and get it right there. $29.99. You get both movies. You get the Blu-ray 4K fucking transfer. How did the transfer look, Josh and MZ?
It looks good.
Looks
way
great.
better than the VHS rip that I've been used to for years.
Yeah, it looks really good, and from the other sources, in order to fill the movie out a little bit more, even that looks good. I mean, there's some popping here, a little bit of popping, some lines here and there, but nothing serious. It really looks good. It really looks good. I wish I could say the same for Vengeance of the Punks, though. Vengeance of the Punks it starts off very, very dark. It's there's an outdoor scene at the very beginning that it just looks dark and murky, but they did the best they could with it. And there was some film damage you could see through the transfer. You could see some film damage. You'll notice it when you watch it. And that's near the beginning as well. Other than that, it looks equally good.
Yeah. Although I'm just happy to finally have a subtitled version of Vengeance of the Punks.
Yes.
Because so my history of the films is that there was a long time ago an unsubtitled VHS rip going around in the first film. Then there was a DVD that was released here in the U.S. and in Mexico by like a budget, like Spanish movie company that was a double feature. That was, again, a video transfer, but better than what had been going around, but it had no subtitles. And then at some point a while, back, somebody subtitled that and uploaded it. So then there was that Video Master floating around with subtitles, and then now we have this fantastic Blu-ray. So
Yeah, this is a phenomenal release, and it looks great. It really does. The colors are sharp. Oh my God, the blacks are like really jet black. There's no pixelation. It just looks wonderful, and a strong recommend. I would say pick this up in a heartbeat. I'm glad I got it. I'm really glad that I got this because it's really so. But let's talk about the film some more.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So anyway, Tarzan, he's in jail. All right, and they bust him out, and then they just try to get. They just want to run roughshod throughout their small town and kill and rob and rape and set people on fire and things like that. It's it's really great, actually. It's hardly boring, and the dialogue just keeps things hopping because the dialogue can be crazy sometimes, especially in the punks world. But there's these two cops. Damn it, figures I would forget them. I'm so bad with names nowadays. I'm so old. Marco and Javier. Yeah. And so they're doing everything they can to try and hunt down Tarzan and the punks. And the punks are just having a good time. They're drinking, having sex, doing drugs with lots of nose candy and weed,
And stimulants.
And stimulants. Yes, stimulants, yes. And they're just wreaking hell all over, everywhere they go, beating people up and shit like that. And here's these two cops, plotting and planning to try and get these people arrested. And it's just, I don't know. Josh, help me out here because I'm at a loss of words right here.
All right. I'm gonna fill in.
It really is a lot of fun.
I'm gonna fill in some of the gaps.
Okay, please do.
And elaborate on a couple of things. The film opens with a very interesting scene where you see a group of nuns enter a bank.
Yes, the nuns.
You quickly realize that they are robbing the bank. It turns out that these are the women of the punk gang, disguised as nuns. They're robbing the bank so that they can then... They have a multi-step plan. So they're robbing the bank so they can use the money to then buy guns and drugs. They need the drugs to party. They need the guns to kidnap and hold the wives of the people that run the prison hostage so that they can force them to release Tarzan and some of the other higher-up gang members. Once they get Tarzan and the other gang members out, then they do not explain this, but through their actions, it seems that they kind of want to become the dominant, crime force in the area. So they are, as MZ was saying, they're kind of wreaking havoc throughout the town, just messing with people. But they also go and try to make a deal with, the local, cartel, drug guys in a plan to rip them off. Because presumably they want to overthrow and take over all the crime in the area. That leads to a small but very entertaining battle with some of the cartel guys. And then you kind of get an overall bigger showdown with the two police officers, the federal agents, actually, that have been after them. So between the cartel fight and then the police fights, that's kind of the last 20 minutes of the movie is just all fighting.
So,
yes.
Thank you, Josh, for explaining a little bit more. I'm going to shoot right now. I fucking hated the first hour of this hour and 27 picture film.
What?
I fucking hated it. Now with the nun scene, this is the first scene that reminded me of, like, I wonder what other creators have seen this movie and they were big fans of it, because immediately I thought of the scene in The Town, the Ben Affleck joint with Renner. I think they had like nun gimmicks where they break into a bank. I'm not saying this movie
stole from The Town.
No. I'm saying that. I'm not saying
No,
it's
the other way around.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's
Bank
over
robber
this.
gimmick. Yeah, but I wonder if, because I thought for a minute they were wearing masks. The first girl we see, and like they totally would have gotten away with it if they didn't
weren't for those
open
damn
fucking
kids.
fire. Yeah, because like they were clearly being punk rockers that were picking up the nuns on their motorcycles. And listen, like, I'm a big fan of nudity. And I'm not saying that everyone involved in this at that point in their lives, to quote Ronnie Dangerfield in Back to School, you're perfect. I just didn't like it's good. You know what? I don't like exploitation movies. Turns out I don't like that. I don't like that. I thought it, despite their bodies, it was so boring nudity. It was so fucking shitty and gross, and I just hated the first hour. I hated the fucks that were the political figures. I do like the idea of, you know what, you don't believe us? We'll cut you. It's a fucking 1987 movie. We're gonna spoil it. I like the hand cut off scene was dope, but overall, yeah, gross, stupid, boring. Didn't like the first hour. Shitty dreadnoughts.
Well, what did you think of the last 27 minutes?
We're not getting there yet, Josh. But
Okay, all right, okay.
So
there's a redemption story here.
It might be. It might be.
So the thing is with the movie like this, I'm kind of on board with you, Raven Shadow. The thing is, you have to view it like it's a movie that was made in 1986 or 87.
Yes.
And absolutely, like, if this movie was made now, it probably would never get released. Or if it did, it would be like super indie. Well, I mean, not to say that this was a big Hollywood fucking release, but
right.
You know, like it's a different time, it's a different era. This was very much like you guys had mentioned Trauma. This feels like it kind of fits in that Trauma wheelhouse a little bit. Now, granted, it wasn't as gory as a lot of Trauma films, and wasn't, you know, maybe with the cultural differences, I feel like this wasn't intentionally funny. It wasn't trying to be. So, but this is one of those movies that, if you look at it as a snapshot of time, you transport yourself back to 1988.
Yes.
And you look at this, and like if we saw this on, TV at the time, we would have been like, "Holy shit!"
If this came on after American Ninja, you might watch it. You know.
Yeah, we would have been like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
You know, so you kind of have to take it like that, you know, because yes, I mean there is a lot of rape in this. That is like it's hard to distance yourself now about it, you know, especially if you saw this movie in the 80s or even 90s. It was a different time, you know, like, and at the time we weren't as aware of what this meant to women. Like a woman seeing this, maybe there's some trauma involved. Maybe someone has been through something like this. Like it's not a pleasant thing to watch at any time. And I think it would have been, you know, if they were doing something like this now, it would have been done with more taste. But it was of the time, and that's what it is, you know, and it did make me uncomfortable to watch. Sure. But you know, it's a punksploitation film from the 80s, and that's sort of, you know, the par of the course, so to speak. So yes, I didn't love that stuff, but it's an inventive, well, not necessarily inventive, not to say that it's unique, but it does well what it wants to do. It makes these punks, yes, and maybe they're sort of drawn from or inspired by trauma punks, or, you know, just punks of that era. But I think they nailed it. I think they nailed the look. I think it has like a cool vibe and look to it with all the characters. And yeah, it's just kind of a ridiculous, fun movie. And that song playing over and over and over is just, it gets ridiculous.
So like I know you guys are going for other like 80s movies. Like, to me, this was clearly fucking Spanish Dreadnoughts, dude. Like, the song that kept playing was literally the Cold Slither version of their fucking what we did on the fucking cartoon. Like, their weapons, their vehicles, like, and I thought Tim from Melbourne was joking. No, my man, they literally played the fucking theme song all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
All the time.
But the lyrics
actually,
are hysterically simplistic.
And sorry,
They're a
one
riot.
last thing. I think the makers of The Town may have seen this.
Come on.
And then when a very terrible scene happened, the band kept playing, which reminded me a little bit of From Dusk Till Dawn. Like, you know, fucking, I'm not saying, but like Tarantino's seen this, right? Like,
probably.
Or Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying he watched it with Harvey Weinstein because they were fucking best friends. Don't forget it. But like, Tarantino definitely saw this, right? Like, or Rodriguez.
I would be shocked if he hasn't.
Right. Yeah. And it reminded me From Dusk Till Dawn a little bit. Like, I can see where other films cherry picked. Do you see that, MZ?
Yeah. Sure. That film's cherry picked from this, or is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Like, well, strangely enough, when I watch this movie, the movie that comes to my mind, and what's ironic about it is that it came out at roughly the same time, is Miami Connection.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain innocence. There's a certain innocence about this movie that Miami Connection has, in terms of not only its of the story, but also the way it was directed. There's a certain innocence, as hardcore as these punks are, and as violent as they are, and as hideous as they are, and what they do to people. There's a certain innocence involved. Much like Miami Connection, with the drug dealing motorcycle riding ninjas. You know, they're a bunch of badasses. You know, you got your bikers. They're badasses. They hurt people. They kill people, and they do it all for the love of cocaine.
Nose candy.
Yet at the same time, there's an innocence involved. There's musical numbers. In this one, there's musical numbers in Miami Connection.
Baby. Hello, your honey.
You know? I mean, and I'm not going to say that that's where, you know, the similarities stop there, but when I see this movie, I just felt like I was watching Miami Connection, and Miami Connection was a blast, and this was equally a blast. You know, I just had a ball with it.
Yeah, and there's definitely, you know, some similarities. Unfortunately, this didn't have a rock band or taekwondo, but, you know, or Orphans. My father.
I mean, that was a rock band.
Oh, well, that is true. It wasn't the punks, but yes, there was a rock band, I guess. So, but I see what you're saying, and Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to look at it with a different eye, or else you'll be like, "What the fuck? Like, this is just pissing me off." You know, like I get that.
Right. And like, not that you want to put a scale on an intensity of a scene. We know as a viewer what's going on. A Clockwork Orange is one of my favorite films of all time, probably, if not top 5, top 10.
Yeah.
I think it does some things in a way where, as a viewer, you get certain things without.
That was also 1971, right?
Right. But like, it's visceral things. I'm sure there's movies that definitely MZ has fucking watched on Easter that were remarkably visceral. And you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's always repugnant, but this could be more invasive. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, of what they're trying to convey with some of those scenes. No one's.
I'm not sure what you're saying. Yeah.
MC, are you muted?
I am.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
No, I was saying it's not as violent as you want it to be.
Right. Well, I didn't say as I want it to be.
Or it's not as violent as you expected it to be.
Right. Like it's.
I agree, because there are scenes in here when you look at the gang and you see what they're doing, you would expect a little bit more gore, more blood, and you really don't get that here. And
I also wonder how much of that could have just been like budgetary.
Yeah,
I was thinking of that.
Could have been for sure.
Then again,
there's only one like quote unquote like gory like thing, and I feel like the way it was shot, it probably like they probably didn't shoot it right, and that's when the guy gets run over by the tractor and the construction equipment.
Oh yeah, the tank. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I feel like they shot like the wrong angle or something, and it didn't come off right, and they probably lost the shot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because that could have been, I'm sure there was they had an established shot of the legs just completely crushed.
Yeah.
And it just didn't come out right, or there had to have been a reason for it. So.
Yeah.
So there's not too much more we can say about this, and I know it's getting close to MZ's time to turn to a pumpkin, but we do have some voice messages. I think some might be for you, MZ. So if you have a few minutes, I might want to see if you can stick around. But maybe we should wrap this up because it's one of those. It's just one of those cult movies, and I've heard it mentioned. Aside from Josh, I've heard some people mention it, like my buddy Coop, Michael Koopmans has. When I asked if any of the Hossman had seen it, he sent me the VHS of it, and he has a few copies of it, I think. And so he's seen it and he likes it. So it is one of those sort of curiosity cult pieces. And that's really what Vinegar Syndrome specializes in. They find these great flicks and they give them the fucking full out treatment, release them in a way that's gorgeous and has gorgeous art and everything. And it gives it the real sort of presentation that they deserve. So yeah, I think it's great that this exists and that you can fucking watch it in 4K. That's insane. And film, at the end of the day, it's art. Art should be maintained, and art should persist through time, and you should be able to go back and watch it. And it's good that this is in a physical release, so that, when the day comes when stuff just fucking disappears from servers and you can't stream it anymore, hey, you can just watch Intrepidos Punks on repeat if you want. So yeah, it is. I'm glad that it exists. I'm glad that I saw it. It's definitely a cult curiosity. Is it up there with Raiders of Atlantis or Miami Connection for me? No, but I'm glad I saw it, and I think it's fun, and it's what is it from summer school, plucky spirit,
Passion and plucky spirit.
Yeah, passion and plucky spirit. So yeah, I think it's good that this exists, and you can watch it in 4K. That's fucking crazy. So good on
Our hero
Vinegar
Tarzan
Syndrome.
is fighting the two cops that were probably in their 20s, but because of their mustaches, looked like they were fucking 48.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like I loved. Listen, I love my Spanish brothers and sisters, but the uncorruption that was done in this movie with the police organization, I was very much impressed by.
Yeah. I love the
I
set.
just feel
I love the setup at the end. Like, you work for us. Like, you come on.
it was like, we want to talk to you about the fucking Infuego Punk Initiative.
The
or whatever the fuck.
Intrepidos initiative.
Yeah. Like Spanish Nick Fury should have come out. Like, and that one dude that totally came in as the fucking big baby face at the end, my man didn't do shit, dude. He was like fucking. It was like a fucking Bogomil saved the day in the fucking Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh man! All right.
Bogomil was the cop. God damn it, Josh! You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about.
All right. Well, let's do the verdict. I'm not going to play the music because I want to keep going. So let's do the verdict. Start with MZ.
All right. Yeah, this is a blast. I enjoyed this. I'm so glad I purchased it. I strongly suggest other people do the same. If you got the funds, I strongly suggest you get this. You get 2 movies, not just one, and totally worth the time and money.
If you got the funds, this movie's got the buns.
That's right. Big time treat for me. Have a great 80s Mexican exploitation flick. Go get it.
All right. Raven Shadow.
I hated everything about the first hour of this film. I thought it was stupid. I was mad. And I thought it was dumb. I thought it was wannabe fucking, Spanish dreadnoughts doing stupid. Like, I wanted them to work for a terrorist organization determined to rule the world and just drink grape soda and have Choco Donuts. But the last 27 minutes, when they started doing some dreadnought shit, like when they set that one cop on fire with a fucking fuel tank, and then that was my shit. And I had a lot of fun with the last fucking 27 minutes. I liked that it had a very ambiguous ending. I liked that fucking Spanish Zartan escaped. I was remarkably surprised by a death of a main character that I felt was remarkably unceremonious, but I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, there was some shit. Movie, still a piece of shit, but this could have been a dope 45 minutes if there was an editor. So it's a trick, but
45 minutes.
If you want to see a first attempt at Dreadnoughts the movie, I'd recommend checking out the new Image Skybound series. That's dope.
All right. Josh, your verdict.
All right, so I know usually I'm brought in here to say something smart and intellectual about movies, but there's really nothing that smart or intellectual to be said about Intrepidos punks.
You got it too.
Discogs.
Yeah.
Hey, looks like
twinsies.
Josh will be in Coventry this weekend.
But you know what? It is one of those fun, turn your brain off kind of films. I would warn new people going into it that it is in no way PC. And it is very much a product of its time. I feel like it will appeal to the punksploitation audience, even the biker exploitation audience. And and I don't know, it's just stupid fun, and I'll leave it at that. So it's going to be a treat and a recommend.
All right. For me, make it short and sweet. I mean, I think this is a treat. It's ridiculous. It's basically everything we said. You just have to go in knowing this is a film made in the mid to late 80s, and it embodies the spirit of that time. So it's not a great movie. It's a fun movie. That's sort of where I'm at. So there you go. Intrepidos Punks. And you guys can get it from Vinegar Syndrome. And if you have never been to their site, I don't know what you're waiting for, but vinegarsyndrome.com. And right there, like right on the front page, I see Intrepidos Punks front and center pretty much, next to a few other flicks. So yeah, it's right there. So you can get Intrepidos Punks from Vinegar Syndrome. Give them a look. I mean, Vinegar Syndrome has some great stuff. So even if you don't want Intrepidos Punks, just look around. And they always have their Black Friday sale is like legendary, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
their vintage porn library is off the chain.
Christ.
Well, hey, MZ likes what he likes, so they have a lot
It's
of
a fucking 14 fucking.
No, but yeah, give it a look. Give Vinegar Syndrome a look, and they get some great stuff on there. Some really great cult cinema, and they've even even their merch is fucking amazing. So they have a Madman fucking hardcover book. I don't know. They have so much cool shit. So just look at their site, vinegarsyndrome.com. It's just insane how much good stuff they have. So give them a look and consider supporting, whether you buy Intrepidos Punks or anything else. All right. MZ, do you have a little bit more time just to hear some voice messages? I know where you're at, but
yeah, I'm pretty. I can listen to a couple.
Okay, well, let me do the ones that I can tell are questions, and I'll go through those. We only have a couple voice messages, so we don't have a ton. But this one is from... Oh, okay, so Joshua Libre, and he titles it 12 Years of Podcast, Questions for the Group. So this one... I think would be a good one to play. So let me go ahead and do this one first. Let's hear from our boy Joshua Libre.
Yo, what up, Trick or Treat Radio? Yeah, 12 years. Congrats. That's amazing. I can't believe how fast time goes by. But just want to say I'm grateful you guys put on the show every week, even with the Patreon episodes. You guys make it look easy, but I'm sure it's, it takes a lot of work, a lot of time, especially for Johnny Wolfenstein to get everything together, yeah, just want to say thank you. Thank you for providing,
thank you, buddy.
These episodes, the great content, it's always a good time. But yeah, my question for you guys, I don't have a super interesting question, but I just wanted to ask maybe horror type questions, since this is a horror podcast, and this is for everyone, Arkham Josh, Monster Zero, Raven Shadow, Johnny Wolfenstein, and any surprise guests that might be there, just wanted to ask you guys, what would be a horror movie that would in some way define either yourself or your life in some way? Not your favorite like horror movie or your deserted island movie or your go-to horror movie, but just a horror movie that you think kind of defines a big part of you, how you feel, or defines kind of like your life in some way. For example, like for me, it would be Pet Sematary, because I really have a hard time letting go of things that I love, And like, for example, if like my cat ever died, I would 100% try to do everything I can to resurrect it, something along those lines, if it could be like, I don't know, if like if you feel cursed, maybe it could be Stephen King's Thinner, or it could be if you feel like, you just, your body's just falling apart, it could be The Fly. Or if you're having sleep troubles, you got a lot of nightmares, it could be one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies,
Wow.
But
That's
yeah,
cool.
something along
Yeah.
those lines. But what would be a horror movie that kind of defines how you feel, or kind of defines kind of like your life in some way, But yeah, that's my question. Anyways, thank you guys for always putting on a great show. Hopefully we get another 12 years. Next year will be the lucky number 13 year, So yeah, keep it going. All right. Thank you guys for the time. Have a great show. Talk to you later. Bye.
That's a really fucking cool question.
Wow.
Yeah, and Joshua Libre. First of all, actually, Raven Shot brother rating.
Oh, I had a fucking 10. Dude.
Okay, brother rating out of 10. So it's a really interesting question because you can almost interpret it like a dream, right? Like, the imagery doesn't have to match your actual life, but I like the way you put it, where like if you feel like your life's falling apart, then you're fucking Brundlefly, like I think it's cool.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Does anyone have an answer right off the top?
Off the cuff?
Are you kidding? Jeez, you got to think about this one.
I'm going to say with no further elaboration, street trash.
Josh.
Okay, now we know what fucking Josh is
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
That's fucking weird.
Josh has had his ding dong thrown around, apparently.
I thought he was fucking probably the best of us. But okay, now fucking Josh is a fucking nut.
What was it?
Keep going, dog.
Viper? Was that what it's called?
Yeah, the Tenafly Viper.
Yeah, Viper. Holy shit. Are you, Josh, speaking of which, are you looking forward to the remake of Street Trash?
I'm curious.
From the guy who did Fried Berry?
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah.
Blink if you're having problems at home, son. Can we fucking like? We can come back.
I would probably say
butt crack. No.
Yeah, not butt crack. I'd probably
Patty
say
drives the bus.
You fucking guys are going dark. What the fuck?
Todd Browning? MZ? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'd go Freaks. For the longest time I've been, shunned and laughed at and ridiculed and all this other stuff. And then I realized
that's just the 12 years of this podcast, but still, aside from that.
But then I have a bunch of people that are just like me, and I have befriended them. So that's pretty much what it is.
Who are they?
So
You should introduce.
think
You should introduce us.
Huh?
You should introduce us to them. Who are they?
Yeah. Are they in Canada?
Yeah. See, we don't shun you, but we do. We do make fun of you, but it's done out of love. It's done out of love.
It's out of love.
It's done out of love.
Shit. Oh man, I have I have a thought in mind, and I'm trying to think of where. Do you have one, Raven Channel?
Oddly enough, it's a fucking weird. I can only go with my gut, right? Like, was Stand By Me, dude. Like, fucking childhood adventure going wrong, meeting fucking older fucking bullies, and like, the end of life, when you grow up, shit happens.
Getting chased by dogs.
Yeah. No Richard Dreyfuss fucking background because he's a fucking weirdo now. I don't know. My mind went to Stand By Me, like being, I don't know. I feel like I'm on a fucking island with you guys tonight. What the fuck? Josh, fucking help a brother out, man. Being more eloquent. But like, I felt like, you know what I mean? Like, oh shit, I'm a kid. There's dicks. Someone's got a knife. What the fuck? Someone dies.
Okay.
Stand By Me is a treat.
All right. You know what I'm going to say? This is okay. This one might be a bit of a stretch, but it's. I think it's after giving it some thought, it's the one I think that I want to go with, and I'm thinking of John Carpenter's The Thing. And I say that because I feel like I have evolved and changed over the years, and tried on some different hats and tried out life as different people, so to speak. Like The Thing, taking over different bodies and stuff. So
are you The Thing or are you Kurt Russell? Because I want to be Kurt Russell.
Well, were you listening to what I said?
I was just thinking about Kurt Russell.
Okay, well, you can just think of Kurt Russell. That's fine. But yeah, I'll say a thing. I think if I gave it some more thought, I might come up with something different. But I'll go with that one for now. So we had MZ's Todd Browning's The Freaks, Street Trash from Josh, Stand By Me from Raven Shadow, and The Thing for me. That's a great question, Joshua Lebre. I would like to actually give it some more thought and maybe think of some archetypes of almost like translating them as dreams, of I don't know. I just think it's a really interesting question. So kudos for that one.
I have been having a lot of nightmares lately.
So maybe Hellraiser for you.
Maybe.
All right. We have. This might be the last one, MZ. I'll look through the others, but this one is a question. So we'll get through this one quick, and then I'll see if there's any others. But this one is from our good friend and boy, Evil Corny. So why don't we check in with the man and see what he has to say?
Hey guys, I do have one question. I'd like to know who was the worst guest or a guest that stood you all up back when you all were in the studio. I'm just curious on if that had ever happened where, somebody either turned out being a bad guest or just stood you all up one, recording or whatever. Y'all have a good one. Evil Corny out.
You guys want me to take off so we can talk about what a bad guest
Josh,
I am.
earmuffs. No.
Yeah, I think the helicopter needs the maintenance.
You know what? We've been super lucky.
Blessed.
We've had so many awesome guests. There was, you know what? I thought of who I would say, and I'm going to be honest, right? I'm not going to pull any punches, I guess, and I forget his name. So I got to look it up. We met him, speaking of Rocket Shock, we met him at Rocket Shock. Do you guys remember the dude who super low budget filmmaker? He has a joke book.
Yeah.
Do you remember his name?
Yeah. Oh my God.
James
Balsamo.
Balsamo, yeah.
Yeah.
I like him. He's he's actually a really funny dude. But we had him on for his interview, and I remember him cutting it short. He was like, all right, guys, gotta go see Guar. And then he just literally hung up the phone.
Yeah.
And it was we had we talked to him for 15 minutes, and us, we do long form interviews, and we typically talk to people for at least a half hour. But I remember he just kind of left at a weird spot. I was like, all right, guys, gonna go see Guar. I just remember that he said, gotta go see Guar. If that's the case, that's cool. I mean, if he was gonna go see Guar, that's fine. But we had agreed to 30-minute interview or something, so that's the thing I'll say. He's a funny guy. I like him. But as for on-air guests, I thought that was a little weird. MZ, do you have anything in mind?
Honestly, none.
All right.
I can't think of anything. If there was one, that would probably be it.
You wouldn't have thought of that, though.
No, I wouldn't. No.
I mean, there's always the John. I forget his name. The Gas Who Love Johnny X guy. But I thought that interview was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Because he was cool about it all.
And he came into a environment and mad props.
Yep.
Mad props
Absolutely.
to
All
he
right.
made a fucking movie. What are you gonna do?
All right. Well, MZ, we do have one more that's a question, but I'll if there's something for you to answer, we'll have you answer it next week. Okay.
All right.
So I don't want to keep you too long. So why don't you say goodbye to the folks, MZ?
Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And I want to thank everybody who has ever tuned in to one of our programs. It means a hell of a lot, even if you stuck around for 10 minutes. You know, that's perfectly fine. And we appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I want to thank everybody for supporting this show through Patreon or just through by listening. You are a good friend of ours, and we love you. And you tolerate us. So I think there's a fair balance there.
Yep.
So thank you. And arrivederci, douchebags. And Josh, I will see you later.
See ya. Have a good
All
one.
right, MZ, take care, bud.
Yeah, you
thanks
too.
thanks for sticking around a little extra.
Sure. All right. Take care,
Bye-bye.
guys.
See you.
Bye.
All right, we'll get the MZ passing out GIF up just because it's relevant. We got 2 more voice messages, and then we'll wrap it up. So... Thank God he's gone. Jeez. All right, we have FTM. FTM is next.
Oh shit!
Oh, you know what? Before I do that, let me read real quick. Rabid Dingo Massacre, our boy RDM. He says, "Quick movie recommend. Love to promote my fellow Aussies. Seen Sting by Kaya Roach Turner, director of Wormwood and Necrotronic." Good fun horror movie. Be good if you have a kid that you like to watch horror with, i.e. the not so fucked up stuff was a little mild for me until the second half. Giant spider movie called Sting. Says starring Alila Brown, who played the young Furiosa. And then he also added, any movie compared to Miami Connection goes straight on the list for me. All right, Dane. So it's funny, Dane. We actually almost did Sting, but we had just did Infested, and I didn't want to do 2 spider movies in a row. So that is still on the list because I do really like Kaya Roach Turner, who directed Wormwood, the Wormwood films, and Necrotronic was pretty good. Not as good as Wormwood, but still one I'm very curious to check out. So we will probably eventually get to that.
And I watched Unreal's poking like a huntsman spider nest, and they all fucking bug out. That shit's fucking scary. And by that, I mean Australia is scary.
Yes, yeah. All right, well, let's now check in with First Time Mike.
What's up, Trick or Treat family? This is First Time Mike. Congratulations on your 12th anniversary show. Wow, that one snuck up on me. Now it looks like I'm going to have to say something clever about you jabronis again that I haven't said in several past anniversary shows of many different types. I mean, how many more times can I talk about the many perversions of Monster Zero? Several of which that I can't mention on a recording like this or on YouTube, or else I'd be banned in several countries and on 3 continents. Or about Michael Ravenshadow, who has amassed more titles than an inbred monarch in a George R.R. Martin novel, and whose cigarette budget alone can fund several small South American countries. Or Johnny Wolfenstein, who hides his insane megalomania behind humble observation and decent productions. I see your tricks, Mr. Wolfenstein, if that is your real name. And all the other ones, past and present, that have been a part of your show. I can't think of anything clever to insult them, so I'm out. Peace out, fuckers. Oh, wait, that's just a joke. That's just total crap. As always, congratulations on your anniversary. You guys have still been... You guys are one of the podcasts I listen to on a regular basis still. Real life has been incredibly busy and a little stressful for me these past 2 years with some personal problems I've had and a couple family things, but this podcast, among several others, is one of the ones that always bring me a smile. And I would like to thank you guys all the past members of this show, all the guests, especially Rocky and Josh and the Zombie Girls, and all the patrons that have been on, and like fellow Patreon people like me and everybody that listens. I love you guys, all of you. Even if I'm not, I'm always listening. I'm not, may not be commenting as much as I used to back in my glory days when I was just doing out of a year. Maybe I had about like 40 voicemails. It's a lot. Life is a lot busier now, but I just want to let you guys know that at the end of the day, you always got FTM in your corner, and I'm always wishing the best for everybody. To use a scale that was that came from my friend Michael Ravenshadow, you guys are a 12 out of a brother rating of 10. I hope that made sense. This is your boy, First Time Mike from the Milltown, yo. Wishing everybody to have a good night, and once again, guys, happy 12th anniversary. FTM out.
Oh shit.
P.S. Television crossover universe for life. FTM out. Bye.
All right, First Time Mike. Always good to hear from you, buddy. You gonna give him a brother rating 12 out of 12?
We might have to invent some new numbers. I'm not sure how numbers work, but we might have to get some new ones. There could be a pluses involved. I don't know how it works.
But this brother rating goes to 12.
Yeah. This goes to 11. Oh, such a fucking Milwaukee brother.
All right, we got one more voice message.
Can we get two more?
I don't know.
I'm going to call him.
Let's see. Okay, so we got another one from Corny. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. All
Corny
right.
has more time than Morris Day.
All right, well, let's hear from Corny.
Hey guys, I want to wish you all a happy 12th anniversary of Trick or Treat Radio. Because Slagoff bugged the fuck out of me, and I say this every year. Slagoff bugged the fuck out of me until I start listening to you all years ago. And I guess, I don't know, I guess I've probably been listening to you all about probably 8 or 9 years or more. But I went back and listened to some of the first episodes a while back. But yeah, Slagoff bugged the fuck out of me until I started listening to y'all, and I became a fan after that. It was real cool meeting you all in person and everything. The year I went up to, to Rock and Shock and everything. But at some point, I wouldn't mind visiting some of y'all, or, going to hang out in Massachusetts Ravenshadow at some point. Yeah, but yeah. Y'all have a good 12th anniversary. Evil Corny out.
All right, Corny. Thanks for calling in again, buddy. Always awesome to hear from you. Brother rating out of 10, Raven Shadow.
Oh, I love Corny so much. We literally talk like at least once a week, and I love Corny so much.
You know what? Like, if you loved him that much, wouldn't you talk once a day?
Or more.
What the fuck, Josh? The fuck? I thought we were dudes, dog. Like, fucking what the fuck? Like, no, like, I love Corny.
Shouldn't you be texting and
yeah.
Just checking in with him a few times a day?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna send him a fucking dick pic right now. What do you think of that? I'm gonna need a long lens. But no, he fucking. I love Corny. We are having a hard time navigating the political climate right now, but I love Corny, and he's my brother. He met my mother. What do you think of that? That's fucking weird. She might have been.
You mean that delivery person that comes to your house?
yeah. This is my mother. That's funny, Josh. That's fucked up. I don't
It's not
fuck
wrong,
you
though.
with the coffee milk. That's cool, though.
Josh, question for you.
Thank you.
Coffee milk or Dell's?
Oh shit.
Coffee milk, but now I'm lactose intolerant, so I got to go with like soy milk or almond milk.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
God damn it.
Do they make coffee milk in variations of like nut milk?
Not in fucking Rhode Island.
Well, you can just buy the syrup.
Oh, wow.
And
there
put
you
it
go.
in whatever you want.
Shit. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So, all right. Well, I think that's it for voice messages. So let me, we got, FTM, 2 from Corny, and then Joshua Libre. And I thought we were going to get, someone messaged me and asked me a question about something. I thought we were going to get another one, but maybe not.
Somebody else who mentioned it in the Discord, but maybe check your spam, Wolfie.
Okay. Yeah.
Refresh your folders.
Yeah, nothing in there.
Yeah, once you refresh your folders, crystals.
Folgers crystals.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. Someone said gonna be me in the voicemails, warning y'all now. Is that what you're talking about?
All right. Yeah, maybe next year.
Nicotine cage.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure,
that's it. I'm looking everywhere. Let's see. Let me just double check again. Refresh.
Maybe his long legs got in the way.
That's two that I think we're expecting. But all right. Well, if people send them in, if for some reason they didn't show up or whatever, we can always play them next week. It's fine. So
that's so fun. It's good.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. It's midnight. Josh has been on with us for way too long. I think Josh is asleep right now.
No, just checking some messages.
No, I just fuck with you, Josh. What? Why don't you go tuck him in, Raven Shadow? Just go tuck him in, or have your mom let go. And I don't mean anything by that. I'm just,
Well, I didn't think that till you said it. Now I'm fucking getting weird about it.
Well, I podcast with Rocky. I have fucking twitches. Like, you say anything remotely close to something that's innuendo, and he jumps all over it. So,
listen, for all my problems, you think I'm fucking Rocky?
No, I'm saying I have like a twitch from podcasting with him.
Do you podcast on Twitch?
Sometimes.
No, what he means is every once in a while he twitches and says something inappropriate. It's like a form of Tourette's. It's a Rocky brought on Tourette's.
Rocky Tourette's.
I mean, Rocky's fucked up.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Right? Like, he sends so much weird shit when I'm in meetings and I can't respond. And I'm presenting. This is fun.
What are you presenting?
You don't want to know.
I want to see a Raven Shadow presentation at work.
Yeah,
I'm good. I do. I fucking
give us one right now, like a quick faux presentation.
I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh, beautiful. That's okay. Yeah, I can see.
Sold. I'm on board.
Yeah.
I'm investing.
Where do I invest? Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're doing fucking better than we thought. You know what I mean? I knew a fucking guy came through in the back end.
I knew a fucking guy. You actually have said that in a work meeting. I know a fucking guy.
I have literally. Well, I don't want to fucking tell you what I said, but I was like, yo.
Do you give people brother ratings in your meetings? Like, yeah. Any questions? Yeah, you.
Actually.
Oh, brother rating out of 10. Great question.
I was. What's a really great question? Let me get back to you on that. But no, I was asked like, what word could I not use for a day? And my first word was like, well, the F word. And I'm like, well, yes, everyone says, well, it's fucking true. See. And it's like either like fuck or brother or hi.
Or gimmick.
Like, yeah, gimmick. Like.
Do you use that in work meetings?
Yeah.
That fucking email gimmick.
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing that fucking HIPAA gimmick.
HIPAA gimmick.
That health insurance portability and accountability act gimmick. Yeah, boy. That's fun. Happy 12 years. I love you guys so much.
All right. Well, I think
Hard to believe it's been this long.
Yeah, it really has.
Or it's easy to believe, depending on your point of view.
Yeah, from a certain point of
Probably
view.
Wolfies.
Man, I think I feel, you know what? Like I feel like there's more, but let me just check the chat rooms and then we'll kind of wind things down here. So I think we lost everyone.
That's good.
They hit the 3-hour mark. And
Yeah, I think the 3-hour mark is when people, like, in this day and age with attention spans, like the fact that people even listen for 20 minutes is fucking like incredible to me. So let alone 3 hours or 3.5, whatever this is going to end up being. So, all right, I think we're good to kind of wrap things up. But I do want to say, despite the fact that this was done very haphazardly by asking Josh yesterday if he could be on. Honestly, like there's not too many people that I would like to celebrate a milestone with than you, Josh, and you have been a huge part of the show over the years.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously aside from your friendship, I definitely am appreciative of everything that you've done to for the show, to help us, just and just even helping us with your point of view and your knowledge and everything. Like you've added a lot, and I really appreciate you being such a good friend and coming on almost whenever we ask you, and it's always a blast just having you on.
And before you talk, soak it in for a minute, Josh.
Before you talk.
Josh, listen. Stop talking. Soak in what Wolfie just said. And I wish I was as eloquent as Wolfie is. But I'm going to say you're the shit dog. And I love you. I love your sexy ways. I guess thank you too. Now, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to say thank you guys back. I'm thankful for being given the opportunity to be involved. And yes, it is also great to know you guys, as we are all now friends. Even if Raven Shadow did just call me a shit dog.
I didn't call you a shit dog.
Yeah, you said you're the shit dog.
No, you're the shit, comma.
It's better than the plague dog.
Yeah. That's fucked up. To be fair, that was gross.
What, plague dogs was grosser than shit dogs?
Yeah.
It's
Why
more
don't you
it's more
watch
sad.
fucking Watership Down and go to sleep and relax. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Hey, I was just trying to add some depth to the show. We needed some pathos.
Yeah, athos, porthos, and fucking pathos. Fucking, I'm gonna watch fucking Two Broke Girls, dog, and fucking relax. Thank you for that fucking suggestion, son.
But I appreciate being the opportunity to be involved. It's been fun, Hopefully it continues to be fun.
Yeah, that's what we say every week.
Yeah. Well, after 12 years, it's all downhill. Like we're in the 13th year now, starting once this episode ends. So lucky 13.
Yeah. It's totally outlasted my marriage, so it's fucking weird too. That's fucking. Yeah.
How long was your marriage, Raven Shadow?
I mean, it's wicked close to 10 years, technically.
Okay. So.
Yeah. I mean, 15 total, but yeah, it technically, according to the lawyers, almost 10.
All right. Well.
Overpriced. Oh, yeah.
So there you go. Josh, I know we didn't talk too much about Discogs, but please, if there's any.
Don't worry about it.
Well, people can go find you, discogs.com/user/jgravel, I believe is the link. I haven't gone there in a while, but since last time.
And if they also want to look up Weird Media Records on Instagram and Facebook, you can see where I will be selling things in person.
let's see. It's not user. I think it's seller.
Yeah.
Discogs.com/seller.
Fucking cellar dweller.
Okay, so I found it. Discogs.com/seller/jgravel/profile. I don't know if you need the profile. Let me see. What happens if I get rid of that? Yeah, it still comes up. So discogs.com/seller/jgravel. And you can see all of Josh's over 1,300 listings. So if you're into buying physical media with your, it's just all music, right, Josh? So it's vinyl, cassettes, and do you do CDs? Okay. So if you guys are looking for physical media, music, discogs.com, check that first because Josh has a lot of shit on there.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the quality. I'm just saying he's got a lot of stuff.
And then if you see me in person, depending on the event, I will also have VHS, DVDs, Blu-rays, books, all sorts of stuff.
Nice. And I always love looking at the most expensive thing on your store for some reason. So right now it is Tri-Pack Thang. It's a 12-inch.
Like Connecticut hip-hop 12-inch.
Yeah, 12-inch single.
I'm going to try to pack anything this week. I'll tell you that much, bro. I'm off.
All right. That's going to do it. So anything else, Josh?
No. I think that's about it. Thanks again for inviting me on to be part of the anniversary episode. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm so glad that we had you because we made that connection about Intrepidos punks, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is perfect." So
yeah,
it worked out well. Worked out really well.
I'm the unofficial fifth Trick or Treat radioer.
Well, I think you're you're unofficial fourth or something like.
Yeah. No, you're down, man. You're fucking.
Oh, Marion's still in the chat. She says, "I'm still here," and she said,
"You haven't scared her off yet. Yeah. That's good."
Yeah. Well, if Raven Shadow hasn't scared her off yet, I think she's good.
Yeah.
She said, "Raven Shadow has been recognized at work recently for his astute observations."
Ooh.
Is that true?
It is true. There was a compliance officer. I spotted out a compromised email gimmick. And I pointed out, I'm like, that's a fucking Fugazi name. Actually, the name, I'm like, that's not a real name. Like, I'm like, listen, I read a lot of comic books. I do some dabbling writing, and I watch foreign films. That's a fucking Fugazi name.
So, was it like a phishing attempt?
Yeah. It was a phishing gimmick.
So, did they recognize you? Like, you get like an award for that or something?
Yeah, I get continued employment.
That's a reward enough.
He called the company's gimmick warning hotline.
Hello, gimmick hotline.
Oh, gimmick hotline. I found one of those danger gimmicks.
Press 1 for manager. Press 2.
Press 3 for no, shit. What was oh man, I can't. My brain is fucking fried today. Press 3 for loss prevention gimmicks.
Yeah, but no, the quote I got, because I'm fucking so over, dude. Except
you're so over.
I am. There's some areas where I'm really over. I was over with the fucking Costa Ricans. I was over with fucking the privacy people, but yeah, and they were like, "Oh, do like a highlight for fucking grown-up gimmick," and I used the fucking like Adobe gimmick.
The Adobe gimmick.
So
like Adobe makes a lot of products. Which one are we talking about? We're talking about PDF, like a PDF view. Is that what you did?
Yeah, in a Word document, you can do like the fucking
that's not
arrows. You can point, and I'm like, yo, this motherfucker has 2 different fucking titles and shit, and I fucking pointed to one gimmick, and yeah,
they're probably fucking like, they're probably working you, brother. You pointed out some fucking like I don't know, like some like African prince trying to give you $1 million, and you're like,
that's I have an African prince story. That's a different fucking podcast. But no. I did have an employee that like he's like, "Yes, my father's the king," and I'm like, "Wait, your dad's a king, then you're a prince." I'm like, "Okay, prince, can you move that pallet?" Like I felt fucking terrible asking him to fucking like,
pallet, prince?
Can you move those? Can you move those fucking boxes, your worshipfulness? Like that's fucked up. Yeah.
Oh shit. All right, we're running long here, so
it's real talk though.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Well, let's say goodbyes.
Thank you, Barry. All right.
Go ahead, Reverend Shell. Say goodbye.
Oh shit. Yeah. Listen, Josh, I love you long time. You know this, brother. Check out his fucking Discogs and all the shit he does. If you're into Rhode Island, that's dope. They're kind of like the American Australia.
He's into Rhode Island. He's into Rhode Islanders, Dino.
I mean, from what I hear, it's called Rogue Island because it was kind of like all the prisoners went there, but that's dope.
You missed my
Gus
weird
Buddy's
science fucking thing. You missed my weird science gimmick.
I sent a fucking Reels gimmick to the group chat. Yeah, into Maracas, Dino.
He's into Rhode Islanders, Dino.
Thank you, everybody. We love you all so much. And here's to at least 2 more. Live fast, love hard, die with your mask.
Here's to at least 2 more episodes.
2 more episodes.
Oh, man. Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for 12 years. And thank you guys for listening, for hanging out, for supporting, for being our friends, for putting up with us, for being our listeners, for all that stuff. And Josh, thank you for everything that you've done for us and with us. You are part of, I would say, almost half of those fucking 12 moments. So you've been a bigger part of this than I think any of us thought before we did that list.
Yeah,
So
Josh's fucking crew, dog. Josh's clique,
Yeah.
man. Come on now.
Thank you for having me.
of course, Raven Shadow, put him to bed now since you're his father. You had him. No.
All
right,
brother.
that's gonna do it.
I
See you guys.
I just fucking-
Well, the music's fucking ending. Go ahead. What? Go ahead. I'll start it over. Go ahead.
All right. I have some time. I gotta kill Josh. You want to get some fucking Dells and just have some fucking lemonade, like gentlemen, in the park, maybe?
Well, I would have, but you didn't want me coming to your house today.
That's true. He did.
What do you
He
do on
did.
Monday? All right, I'll mess you offline. All right, fine.
All right.
Wolfie. Play your music, Wolfie.
All right. Next week, I forgot to mention this, so I'm actually glad that you went long, so I could do this. Next week, we have a Speaking of Patreon, we have a Patreon takeover. And next week, we are going to be joined by Creepy Girl. And the 2 films we're doing are The Devil's Bath, which is on Shudder. It's a folk horror. And we're also doing The Coffee Table. It's on VOD. So The Devil's Bath, The Coffee Table with Creepy Girl. Next week, Patreon takeover. See you then. Thanks, everyone.